All right, guys, we're live. How's it going? Hey, hey. We're gonna watch some Crowder. He's going over the Charlie Kirk events today. Let's see what he's got to say.
I don't think anyone is. There's no good way to cover this. There's no good way to handle this. And I think everyone is, we have to be here anyway. And this is heartbreaking for everyone. We're trying to find the right words here today. Here's what I ask for. Ask for grace.
We used to say grace before dinner, but we just said the word grace. So grace. We ate. Alright, I should have the phone turned on if anybody's watching and wants to call in. Go ahead and call in. Oh shit, that's right. I gotta move these signs. Shit. I forgot about that. You can't really see that shit, can you? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write call in up a little bit higher. Hello. I'm gonna go get my little markers. Get out of the garbage can. What you got? Damn it. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, put that there. Alright. This ought to help. Let's see. Blue. My neighbor screaming. There we go. Get a little rag action on that. That way, in the small screen, people can see the number. We'll get back to Crowder in a sec here. Sorry about that, guys. Ooh. Let's see. The hell was I doing? Oh, getting a rag. Alright, we'll clean this up a little bit. We're still in focus. The cat's fucking with us. Alright, how's that? Beautiful. Alright, that bald spot's getting bigger and bigger. Big times. 45, I'm done with it. Notification, eh? Who's fucking with us? Yep. Alright. Should be good to go if you want to call in. Do not disturb. Or we're not on do not disturb, right?
All around, because emotions are high for everyone, and people sometimes are missing. Let's not try and score any points. There are children who don't have a father. Kirk family who's affected.
God damn it, get back here. Oh.
It's not a game. Oh. The left is not playing games, and neither should you. And right now,
what do you think of Crowder,
for a very rare occasion, we're streaming wide to YouTube, and this is going to be very shortly. If you were on YouTube, the whole reason for Rumble.
She's the best cat. She's like fearless. It's fucking amazing.
Head on over.
Just cut the shit out of me too.
Because kinds of things that
She's getting sharp. You're getting big and sharp.
Get the channel nuked on YouTube. And let me be really clear here.
Do it, Crowder. Get nuked.
This is an inflection point. I am not advocating for violence. Wanted violence against left. I'm not advocating for a civil war. I'm not advocating for anything that should be a violation of big tech's policy that forbids you from fighting back, but it's gonna get really fucking close.
Try to clear up my nose so I'm not sniffing as much in your guys' goddamn ears.
I hope I made myself clear.
Somebody call in and call me an asshole.
Let me just start with this. This morning, you've seen this now. Our undercover team who did some work here, best in the world, I'll just say Jay, codename Jay, who got this morning was a leak from someone who was a long-time viewer of the show and works under the DOJ. And so we released this, and now the media, the rest of the media is confirming it. There's a briefing confirming it. I want to read this.
James Brown.
On September 10th, 2025, this comes from our source.
Nothing.
Approximately 12:24 p.m., conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. I'm sure. This is the stuff that you know. Multiple SLC 1 and 3 agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video
Are we
showed
listening?
the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located
What's up with that shoot me guy?
30-06 caliber bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top-fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them, expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. Emergency trace has been submitted. An ATF SLC is working. Leads generated by the trace. Firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI. DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, firearm will be disassembled for additional important information. Multiple people interested in having contacted or detained because of eyewitnesses' testimony and review of video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting in the investigation of multiple engraved.
Crowder's getting all sorts of heat for this. I think if my initial lookings were right. What the fuck is that? God, it's gross. I don't know. They got him. They want to get him for like leaking or some stupid shit like that. They're trying to get to his source.
With trans and anti-fascist, Antifa ideology. I know yesterday, y'all thought it, y'all prayed and hoped. Evil, senseless, enabled and abetted. People say, who could have seen this coming? Teacher? Everyone?
People say Charlie saw it coming.
Everyone?
I don't mean that in a gross way. I mean,
Paying attention.
like he expected something
Before we
bad
open
to
this
happen.
prayer, I want to thank the undercover unit who did this and helped to catch the bastard. And I hope it hurts. I hope it hurts. I hope it's unpleasant. Because Charlie Kirk and his family did not deserve at all what he got. But whoever this person is deserves it to hurt. And whoever pops their head up and even attempts any act of violence, not even taking a shot. I'm not advocating that you take violence into your own hands. Let me be clear. I am advocating now, going forward, hair-trigger defense. Because we, Charlie that day, make no mistake, was hunted. We are being hunted. This is terrorism. And I don't want to hear about both sides. Charlie Kirk's death was the direct result of leftist terrorism in America. Let me make that case. There are only a couple of people who've been in that chair surrounded on campus. I know what it's like. Had the assaults come. I'm just speaking from experience. I've lived that nightmare over 100 times in my life. Happens after the first 1, 2, or 3 death threats or assaults that Charlie had to live through too. And he had to live through that while the media that now pretends like they had respect for him called him a Nazi. And now they want to say, hey, let's cool temperatures. Hey, let's simmer this down. Hey? I will when you bring Charlie back. I will when you unpropagandize every single person who you made to believe that Charlie and all of us are Nazis and committing a genocide and racist and sexist. Let me ask you this.
I thought about going back to the bridge on Meade, where maybe we'll go through the videos sometimes. I go over there and I flag wave, and then a bunch of commies decided they wanted to fucking put up their commie signs and shit, so I go down there, just me, and I counter-protest. And there was a big hullabaloo. Some bitch pushed me like 20 times. Finally, I pushed her back, and then shit got kind of out of hand. But, oh, fuck, I was going to say something about that. It'll come right back here.
If a real Nazi...
Oh, I was thinking about going again today. Because they meet on Thursdays, I think. I mean, they might have changed since I'm there fucking with them. But, you know, just go there with like a R.I.P. Charlie sign or something like that. I don't know, it's early in the day. Maybe I should. Well, I like to be a little bit random now when I show up. I don't want to show up every week because they're fucking psychotic. They'll do something.
Real genocidal Hitler was sitting there out in the open.
If you hear a ringing in your ear that never goes away, there's something in your brain begging for help.
Anyone who does. If you believed it, if you really believed it, you thought that person was gonna kill 6 million Jews. When you take the shot, now add mental illness and fucking hormones. Yeah, we'll put that genie back in the bottle. You first. Why is it incumbent upon us to cool temperatures, and we're the only ones getting shot, getting hit with bike locks, getting rocks in the head, getting ice picks. You've lived through it with me.
Ice picks?
It's terrorism. You know what these people want? Charlie Kirk's death is the result of leftist terrorism in America because they make this really clear. Hey, Charlie. Hey, well, could be Ben Shapiro, could be me, could be any one of you. Hey, do you want to impact the country? Do you want to change minds? Do you want to affect... people's hearts and minds? How much do you want it more than your children to have a father? That's the message. But you let cooler heads prevail. And you know why this source gave this to us? Do you know why? This person under the ATF? They were rightfully concerned that it may be buried.
Well, shit.
And I hope you appreciate the world that you live in that's lesser with someone like Charlie Kirk gone. But before this place, and before people like Charlie, before that, there was an era where, my God, you had to rely on the people, CNN, Fox News. And if they chose not to cover this, you would never know. Hey, maybe someone else would have covered this. Maybe the Wall Street Journal would tell you this was clearly what seems to be a radical trans ideologue who committed terrorism and an assassination. Maybe, or maybe, they wouldn't have covered it if it hadn't already gotten out. Nashville Manifesto. DOJ prosecuting Trump. J. Varma COVID architect locked down if they didn't respect themselves. Maybe it would have been like that. Think none of these outlets had it? This source was afraid that it would be same old, and that Charlie Kirk's death would be in vain. Fight like hell takes on a whole new meaning. Now, just like people have said, they're not after Trump, they're after you, he's in the way. The same can be said, Charlie Kirk, the same can be said for anyone. Anyone who goes out and risks life and limb to express a political opinion, and the other side acts with impunity. They act with impunity. Presidents, of course, both sides. Highest profile person on earth. Show me the last time, let alone multiple times, that a liberal commentator was murdered and assaulted. Because our side doesn't do that. And you shouldn't do that. You should have no tolerance. It's real life out there. It's real life out there, guys. In the real world, there are psychos. Where's the left person? Useful pawn. Useful pawn. And if anyone else out there, by the way, has any more information, because aside from prayers, heartbreak, and mourning Charlie Kirk and his family, what do we do going forward? I'm going to do the only thing I know how to do. That's fight back. That's trying to let the truth. And you guys, I talk about you guys have changed the country. People like Charlie have inspired you to change the country. People doing things that weren't being done. So please, if you see anything else, if you know anything, send your information to lwctips@protonmail.com, just like this person will. Protect our sources with our life, and boy, do we mean that literally. Because every one of us in this position, every one of us knows that it's a possibility. Guarantee you, Charlie knew that. Lived with it, did it anyway. Gerald, if you can't think of, I already said a lot, but I know it's to pray for us to have the right words of wisdom and insight, and I guess I spoke outside of the prayer umbrella, so hopefully I don't spontaneously combust, but I think it'll be okay. But really quickly, I know a lot of people have been saying they don't pray often, but they have been kind of led to pray now. I think that's a great response to this. Prayer is simple, so we'll just kind of pray real quick. So Father, we just thank you for the opportunity to come here and be before you and live in this wonderful and great country. But there are days like this where we just don't know what to say. We don't know what to pray. We don't really have words to adequately express kind of how we're feeling. Father, we know that you understand. We know that you experience all the emotions that are possible for us. And so we just pray that you would be with everybody affected by this. First and foremost, the members of Charlie's family, everything close to him. Millions of people that he touched their lives around this country that woke up feeling this emptiness inside of them, Lord, that really doesn't have a lot of comparison in our lifetimes, Lord. We just need you. We need you to be with every single person there. Whatever way you do it, Lord, we don't know. We don't understand how you do it, but you give us peace that goes beyond understanding. And Lord, I pray that everybody would understand that Charlie is in your presence now. As much sadness as there is here for those of us left behind, Charlie's message was to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and to have salvation through that. And I pray that that's what people turn to now. So as we talk about this, and every other subject we covered, Lord, I pray that we do it well, that we would do it accurately, that we would honor you in Jesus' name. And before I move on, I'll just let you know that, of course, the press, by the way, if you can fill it, I know a lot of people fill it, the mic just for a little bit until we bring everyone in. Gerald, Josh, my dad is here because he's actually had a lot of first-hand experience talking about it. The security issues, it's still going on. We're talking about that. He's still trying to spin this. If we allow them to, that's what makes all of this business. This morning, Business Insider reached out to me after we did this. They asked how yesterday's events would change conservative media and appearances going forward. This morning, I responded, I haven't changed, but it's clear that we're now being hunted. So now the approach does. Fight like hell takes on a whole new meaning. They reached out and said, well, can you clarify what that means? The approach. My response was, no. Why? Because I still think that people want to twist it. Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered by leftist terrorists. They want you to interview. Hey, what's on camera? Nope. And let me say this. Who would have seen this coming? Everyone. Not only this specific incident with Charlie, this specific tragedy. I mean us getting to this place.
So I go out and I wave these flags on the street. Sometimes over the bridge, sometimes I'm counter-protesting along a sidewalk. It's fucking 100 old people with signs and shit like that. But There's a few young people and a few of the old people. They get fucking violent. They are fucking angry and violent, and you can't even talk to them. They hold up stupid fucking signs about Trump being a king and shit. I ask them simple questions like, when was the last time a king took 4 years off? They blow their fucking tops. They're animals.
And the left's going to try and gaslight you and make it seem like it's both sides. Or it should, let me tell you, I've been here and I've experienced this. More assaults than I could list for you, and every single time. Same thing happened with Charlotte every single time. There was, well, this one's fun. Usually a psycho tranny, to be clear. You watch 3 of them. You watch it, and the exact behavior, and by the way, criminal, violent behavior, assaults, sometimes with a weapon, were dismissed, weren't covered, were condoned. In just a place where you see a bike lock, a lunchbox, a rock with a gun, there's enough damage. Everyone cares. But what about all the times beforehand? And that's the specter everyone has to live under. If you might, Charlie Kirk was killed by a terrorist. Think about this for a second. The right is afraid of expressing their opinion very often. And right now, you probably have some rage in you. You probably have some things that you want to say, but you're afraid to express it unless you be taken out of context or someone uses it again.
I don't have any extra rage in me. I've pretty much been there this whole time.
And so Charlie Kirk sat down at a table with people. And they took his life anyway. And I've said at that table many times, by the skin of my teeth, I'm still here. Because there are plenty of examples you can point to. An initiative, a change of the weapon in the hand. This could have happened. And there was never a right to me or the left. An outcry. Bringing temperatures down. I'll give you one example that I went through. Here, it's not working. We could have lowered temperatures there. Screamed at, verbally assaulted. Then this crazy psycho train grabbed a homeless man's pencil case lunchbox and whipped it from the exact same angle. Yes, so man. On YouTube? No, I thought we were off YouTube. I said 5 minutes on YouTube. Don't kill YouTube, so I didn't tell you to kill YouTube. I'm sorry. From the exact same angle as Charlie Kirk was shot. And when it's...
Oh no, he said Trans Am on YouTube.
Don't we think that's maybe not something we should handle? I was hoping. Yeah, we're always fine. Until we're...
Just checking on the old stream. Still live. Still no views. Good. That's how we like it. Nice and clandestine.
Not. That's how this goes. It goes violent, crime, Charlie Kirk. Fine, nothing done, fine, dead. And then people act like...
Breaking news. The Democrats are trying to sink Trump's approval ratings. We're running a quick one-question poll about his second.
If they care. And want to ask you, change your tone. Well, let me ask you this. Why did we pull down temperatures when exactly this happened? Just so you know, and I know what this feels like for someone like Charlie, obviously maybe he did it anyway. What you see, when you see Charlie pose, when you see Charlie articulate, if there's anyone who's in that chair, he's terrified. He's terrified. I'll tell you, this happened. What you see? I was terrified. But it was all fine.
I'm sick and tired of this box. They need to respect women, period.
So you should respect women.
I've known women that have been raped multiple times gruesomely, and how dare you sit up here and try to say
Confronting people is weird.
women aren't worth respect. I'm a gay woman. I am a woman, a different gay woman. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? You really respect me, period. And I'm already black, so it's just like, yeah, that already goes against you anyways. But still, you piece of living garbage-ass dumpster fire. Trash gum on the bottom of my shoe. Oh my god, I wish I had a tissue for the flood. I would eat that gum.
We're going to suggest it's your behavior, not because you're black or a woman.
The country more guilty of innocent. Yes, we'd be running in jail. But
She's running up behind him. They threw a fucking lunch pail at him.
I can't say the name.
Come on, that's inappropriate, sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
You think about it?
Oh, you forgot what I said?
No, I just don't think it's necessary. Aren't you just reading it?
You think that's a violent crime, correct?
They're fine.
So because there's no damage done, so fine. Okay. Because there's no damage. There's your
What a
answer.
smarmy fucking whore. I mean, this is just everything that's wrong with all of it. Fucking this dirty bitch right here.
Just reading it?
Yeah,
Correct.
They're fine.
this should vote. this should definitely vote. Keep voting. That's excellent. This is working out excellent.
So because there's no damage done, it's fine. Okay. Because there's no damage. There's your answer. You're not dead yet. You're not dead yet. Could that have just as easily been a gun? Remember the headlines? Antagonizes trannies. Same thing with Charlie Kirk. It's fine until someone's dead. That right there, what you just watched, is terrorism. And we've had to live with the threat of that for a very long time. You think you should have anything thrown at you? Because of an opinion that was completely inoffensive until 4 years ago? That there's such thing as men and women? You think Charlie Kirk deserved to be shot because he wants lower fucking taxes? Cool down temperatures. Well, how about you cool it down by caring about the person who was a victim of violent assault as opposed to that person committing it before it gets to be a 30-06? It's the reason we have laws. Because these are indicators of future behavior. You want to know how I know the left is going to continue enabling this and gaslighting, and we can't let that happen because that's exactly what all of us, you, me, and certainly Charlie Kirk, fought against. Bring up what CNN just said there, Gerald. Oh, give him his mic. Be on top of it today, Billy.
All right, so what CNN said as we were talking about this week, we kept the argument of cultural phrases were swirled in the ammo. They know.
Cultural phrase.
You know how I know that they know? They said they had it on their lower third. They said it on air. I saw it there. You know how I know that they know? Because the Wall Street Journal picked it up and reported on it. CNN, cultural phrases. Anti-fascist. Trans ideology. That's not cultural phrases.
Right. Right. And you want to know?
We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. Just to your point, we would never know what was written on those things.
We would never know. If not for the best on earth.
Yeah.
Jay, who did this work. Thank him. Send your attention. But that's all. That's all. You know, your support, your membership.
We got 5 people watching. That's fucking insane.
Never gotten one wrong.
Hey guys,
And someone who works
I did not realize people were watching.
in these departments,
I can't really read comments from here.
supposed to
If you want,
protect
call in.
and people like Charlie, he was concerned enough that it would
Scroll
be
for
buried
old comments. Okay.
from said agencies and departments.
Scroll.
That he sent it to the undercover
scrolling?
unit of a comedy show.
Oh fuck.
What chance do you think we have of them being honest if ninjas like Jay don't exist? And you would have known, maybe you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. Some of the other stories.
All right, I gotta stabilize this camera before it falls down.
I believe Megan Kelly a little later to talk about this. Didn't say, well, yeah, we didn't see this coming. Everyone.
There we go. Oh shit.
Everyone.
Okay.
I tell you.
Holy shit.
You ever had a dream? You ever had a dream?
5 people watching. Hey, call in.
Swear you were there.
Maybe you've tried and it didn't work.
Some very neat dream. Oh, we saw it yesterday.
If so, it'd be awesome if you left me a message or something. If you tried to call in and it didn't work,
And I
like,
can't imagine
leave a
anyone-
reply on
anyone
like
in these positions.
anything that I've done and I'll
Only in
see
my
it.
dream, I'd say, my spirit is still there, able to see my children mourning, or someone telling them that they don't have a dad because I might have said, I'm pro-Second Amendment, change my mind. It's not like this is something that was a spectrum distance that maybe could possibly, no. Charlie Kirk, and everyone who does this, and everyone who enters the arena, has experienced being not just name-called, slandered, defamed, watching people be propagandized into believing that we are all Nazis and fascists, like you see. Like you see on the round engravings, and committing genocide against transgenders, and sexist, and racist, and my God, a threat to democracy. They're smart enough to know that there are mentally ill people out there because, oh my God, the conversation always shifts to mental illness after the fact. So someone like Charlie had to sit there, have that go out there nonstop, know that people believed it, and throughout years of doing these kinds of things, experience assaults, experience violent crime, watch them escalate, watch the propaganda in the media generating, shitting up hate, watch it get worse and worse, and know how it ends, and see no one on the left care anyway, and then feign surprise. What? Do you know how I know the left knows what they're doing? Tell me if you can spot it. Years of this. Charlie, all of us. This is how it goes.
This is when they give not gay Jared the knife. I think Timmy brought this up the other night. Salty Timmy? Somebody brought this up the other night. But yeah, man, this is going way to 2017. Classic. We're talking about all the weapons they got in their trunks and shit. Be nice if they didn't cover this up because it's kind of quiet. Oh, there's the ice pick. That's right. Okay.
He was just down there at President's Circle. They were handing out sharp objects to staff. People listed that someone come over AK. Why did it take 2 late night hosts, Canadians, to find us out? You know what? I wish you guys luck.
I wish you guys luck. This is good. This is what we need. Guys dressed like fucking Beachhead. You remember Beachhead from G.I. Joe? Fucking, he was a Joe. He was a good guy. But that's what that guy fucking looked like. Beach, one word, head, G.I. Joe. Oh, fucking balls. Failed the typing test. Yeah, images, what do we got here? Yeah. Fucking, this guy was a badass, but this is what that stupid dipshit looked like walking around the streets of America. Oh, I'm a fucking freedom fighter. Good job, asshole. Everybody's proud. Jiminy Christmas. There we go. $35 for a Beachhead? God damn, I sold all of mine for like $800 back in the day. G.I. Joe was the shiznit. Born in 1980, like I said yesterday. Prime age for G.I. Joe madness. See, I thought that was the number of views. Oh, 5 views. Okay, I see. Okay, so it might not even be people watching, but... Hello. Alright, gross. I'm sniffing and shit. I'm gross. Sorry about all the sniffing, guys. Quarter Jew, it fucks with my nasals. Here's Crowder getting all punched up and shit at a union meeting or some shit. Union gathering. If I was Ben Shapiro, I'd said bring it on. I'll twist off your titty. Fucking come on, it's Bruce Jenner, but I don't know, man. Let him touch you like that, cocksucker. There's Beachhead again.
Tell you something too. People say we're never change your mind. Where have I changed? And it's changed over the years. But this is an inflection point. This is an inflection point. If you would ask me, I want to do this clear. Acts of violence going out to the okay? If I were to hear 5 years ago someone saying, it's getting to that point, there's going to be blood in the streets, I would go, whoa, this person's pretty radical, isn't it? So that was the era of Bush, Kerry. You know what the difference is today? I would go, oh, I'm discouraged. I go, I get it. It's not irrational. It's not illogical. Because I know that a lot of you out there right now feel like you have a binary decision. Now you don't. But it's easy to think, okay, option 1, there's already blood in the streets, but it's a drip, 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 drip. And it's only our blood. So maybe shed more on both sides. If you thought that was a binary decision, I could understand it. There are other decisions to make. You can support, you can have a voice, you can make a difference, and I will say, you can switch your mindset to a hair trigger defense. And I have zero guilt in expressing that. That bike lock could just as easily be a knife. That rock, that lunchbox could just as easily be a gun. We used to say it just as easily could.
The bike lock is bad enough.
It has been.
Fucking bike lock.
And I don't want violence in the streets any more than you.
I got my hands on Hollywood's top secret weight loss formula. Celebrities have been using for decades.
And I don't want civil war any more than you. I don't want it all. You know what I want less? Less of the Kirk children who have to grow up with that dad because he had opinions on taxes and abortion. Less of the people who were slaughtered Catholic school in Nashville, or more. I mean, how many times?
Those videos of his family are goddamn heartbreaking, man. Fucking, I heard that the little girl ran towards him because she was scared when she heard the gunshot. It's just...
That's more important to me. Defend yourself and defend this country. And please, 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 if nothing else comes out of this, treat real life like real life and be safe. Is this a flashpoint? Yes. But the world would be a lot better off if Charlie Kirk was still around. I'd rather have him still around. And I would rather have the next Charlie Kirk still around than be a flashpoint. Take the proper precautions as much as you possibly can. Know that when you go out there, it's not just Twitter memes. Make sure you're defending yourself. Make sure you have security. Make sure you have awareness. You can't control the world, and I understand that there are evil people. But please, I see so many of you out there for clicks, doing it so recklessly. And there's been a shift in this country. Here's more proof that I know there's been a shift, because I've had these conversations. By the way, one thing Tony said about you're not going to see me here is people say, Charlie Kirk and I were really good friends. And I know they've never spent time with the guy. Charlie Kirk and I were not close friends. I don't know him that well. We've always been cordial, run in the same circle. But I know what he stands for, and I know what I respect him for. I think this is about truth, not about clout chasing, not about click chasing. Take proper precautions. I, it's that match, something like this. That's your mind and many. And I told you about it. It's that match, saw something like this. Why I haven't done. Change my mind in many years. And I
Really?
told him about it.
That's why he hasn't done a change of mind in many years, because of security risks. Did I catch that right?
And I watched the left dismiss it.
God damn.
Dismiss it, and it's fine until it's not.
I mean, come to think of it, have I... well, yeah, never mind.
I explained to you why we're becoming less and less positive. We've been doing change my mind for a long time. So we had to shut down cable because of violence. They had to shut down show because of threats of violence. And hire a lot of security. Hire a lot of security. The left.
He looks so young, it's crazy. 2018? God damn, 7 years ago?
They cannot help themselves from life. This is like Nazi Germany. Trump is separating families. The economy is worse than ever.
It's weird, I've been watching all this stuff since, 2012 or so, and it's funny watching everybody all get a little bit older along with me. Like, I was a strapping young man when this shit all popped off, culturally speaking, and now, like, Anthony Brian Logan and a few others were getting a gray in the beard. I'm watching you, though, Salty. Salty, I think you're dyeing that beard. I shouldn't blow you up like that. I love you, Salty. You're my favorite. You guys watch Fleckus Talks? Fleckus is the fucking man. What are they on, tomorrow? They're on tomorrow.
Never. We're less respected than we've ever been. None of these things are true. And that's the same reason they can't figure out why they're losing. Because no one's that good alive. For me, honestly, like, you know this, I was more carefree before other people stepped in and said, hey, look, this is at that point, you have to actually, you have to be pretty cautious about this, especially as a father wanting to be around for my kids. Guys, you know what, you can't take the sickness. Something that changed my mind. That is many, many, many thousands of dollars that day just to have security, just to have the perimeter done. When we had that, people bash me with the head with a rock. Then people called to firebomb my car, slash my cars, and there's some other threats that I won't even discuss here because you don't want any
You guys gotta watch my hairy arms vagina video.
copycats. There are investigations that can be ongoing. I've always told people if you're in a crowded area, protesters are
Tim.
out of hand. Doesn't matter if it's a milkshake, doesn't matter if it's brass knuckles. You do need to set a perimeter and not let someone get that close to it and keep this going. Not saying go out and assault them, but for me it's arm's length. I don't let someone I don't know get within arm's length. People do need to make sure they understand.
Alright, that's immature. Stop picking Timmy's nose.
But when you're in a real world scenario where there could be active violence, keep your head on a swivel and keep a perimeter so that you just avoid those scenarios. I've had people take swings at me.
I shouldn't admit how many episodes of Timcast I've caught in a row. It would label me quite the loser.
Don't change my mind. I've had the beautiful, brave transgender males who threw a homeless man's lunchbox at me, trying to steal my sign. But like, especially when we've had women out there, you guys have always known. It's like, hey, protect them, make sure that they're safe. Yeah. I have to make sure that I control myself, that I don't go ape shit, living crazy if someone hurts a member of my crew. And that's why we just stopped doing it.
Oh shit, yeah, if somebody fucking walked up behind Toolman Tim and fucking shivved him or something. I mean, where's Crowder's stop button? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's afraid he doesn't have one. That's a halfway decent excuse, because you gotta expect these things to happen. These people are fucking animals, filthy, communist, godless animals. ever watch Hard Bastard? Hard Bastard's awesome. On Rumble, he's Hard Bastard. On YouTube, he's Hard News Network. I might have that backwards. Hard News Network is Hard Bastard.
And nothing we do.
And bring back your gay brother. Where's the soft gentleman? We need more soft gentlemen. Hard Bastard, I implore you, get a hold of your brother.
Nothing we say will bring Charlie Kirk back. That's the sad reality. Don't we choose how we choose how we fuck. We can do that, and it starts with you being mindful. It starts with you being safe. And then it starts with you not caring. It is not caring what the left thinks about you or says about you, because ultimately, if given a chance, they will.
I didn't even think about this. I saw a meme yesterday about Charlie Kirk, and he's walking towards heaven with Jesus. They're arm in arm, and there's a microphone in the foreground. They're walking away from the microphone that he dropped. And he says to Jesus, do you think somebody will pick up the microphone? And Jesus is like, yeah, somebody will pick it up. And, like, I don't mean to overblow this or anything goddamn weird, so don't take it too out of fucking context, but, like, here I am, starting live streams, like, the very same time as this whole Irina, Ukrainian girl, and Charlie Kirk thing happens. Maybe that was more of a motivation than I realized.
Take your life anyway. I believe we have on, and then we're going to go to Pop Scrouter.
Hey, stop scratching at the dog. God, the kitten's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck did I do?
You can, of course, she's been here quite a few times, host of the
Stop attacking the dog.
I also want to-
Ginger! No, you gotta be good. You gotta be good.
Okay.
No growling at the cat. I don't care. You're the boss. You can't growl.
Megan Kelly.
She's crazy.
This cat is goddamn attacking the dog.
How are you?
Well, Steven, I'm
We got a little overweight fucking, yes, I said overweight Ginger.
What are your thoughts?
We got a little overweight
You're someone who's done this, obviously been
Italian Beagle, Italian Greyhound and Beagle. She's cute as fuck. She'll be on camera soon.
So you've been here a long time.
But the cat's fucking attacking her.
Is this something that's completely unexpected?
Not attacking her, but like fake fighting with her. Because she's crazy. Yes, you're crazy. Look at this pretty kitten. See those eyes, the different color eyes. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. Yes, everyone loves you.
Change the fact that this feels like a before and after moment. You know, that, I don't know, with President Trump, it's not that you expected an assassination attempt on him, but you have seen that figures before, presidents before. I just don't remember anything like this where one of our most prominent thought leaders, who's not a politician, who's not running for office, who's just commenting on news and cultural events, has been shot down for doing that. There's no question now, the way that you're reporting this morning, you're exclusive, now matched ultimately by the Wall Street Journal too, that he was killed for his thoughts. He was killed for his speech. It's just so un-American and disgusting. And now we're going to go through this pointless cycle of the left trying to say it's right-wing rhetoric that has caused these problems, and we're all going to sit on the right like, what the actual F are you talking about? And my gut feeling today is, I'm not even interested in them. I don't even give two shits what they have to say. I couldn't care less. It's all about us and how we feel and what we're going to do next.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's, for me, it's black and white. As much grace as possible for those on the right now, because emotions are high. I see some people playing gotcha.
Wait, he's actually talking to her?
Grace, the left. No,
Right now?
assume the worst of intentions. Go on.
What the fuck did this happen?
Same. Not caring. Continue. I believe we have on, and then we're going to go to Pop Scrouter. You can, of course, she's been here quite a few times, host of the Megan Kelly Show. We have her. We're still up.
Oh, shit. Alright. I wasn't paying attention. I was digging with the cat.
Maybe getting some more tips. Is that a thumbs up for her? Okay. Let me know about those tips. I will. Okay. Host of the Megan Kelly Show on X. At Megan Kelly. Let's talk about this. Somebody's been around for a long time as well. Megan Kelly. Hey, Megan. How are you?
Well, Steven, I'm hanging in there. How about you?
Same. Same. What are your thoughts? You're someone who's done this, obviously been in more traditional media, Fox News, networking, and now independent media. Don't call it media anymore, just media. You've been here a long time. Is this something that's completely unexpected to you, or have you sensed this shift too, and saw, unfortunately, something like this?
Well, I mean, the threat profile has gone up for a lot of people who do what we do. I know you've experienced that. So have I. So have a lot of people who are doing it. But that doesn't change the fact that this feels like a before and after moment. You know, that, I don't know, with President Trump, it's not that you expected an assassination attempt on him, but we have seen that with political figures before and presidents before. I just don't remember anything like this, where one of our most prominent public thought leaders, who's who's not a politician, who's not running for office, who's just commenting on news and cultural events, has been shot down for doing that. There's no question now, the week of your reporting this morning, your exclusive, now matched ultimately by the Wall Street Journal too, that he was killed for his thoughts. He was killed for his speech. It's just so un-American and disgusting. And now we're going to go through this pointless cycle of the left trying to say it's right-wing rhetoric that has caused these problems, and we're all going to sit on the right like, what in the actual F are you talking about? And my gut feeling today is, I'm not even interested in them. I don't even give two shits what they have to say. I couldn't care less. It's all about us and how we feel and what we're going to do next.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's mix black and white, as much grace as possible for those on the right now, because emotions are high, and I see some people playing gotcha. Let's really avoid that. And zero grace for the left. None. Assume the worst of intention going forward now. That's my thing. Did you see just today, this just happened, did you see CNN's coverage just now?
Yeah. Cultural issues?
Cultural issues? Yeah.
That's how liars they are. That's what, it's like, everyone knows, at this point that they're so irrelevant, and they're just a dead medium. It just doesn't work, and they're not trusted, and they have no ratings, and they have no one special. But I mean, so close to this, you want to be part of the problem? So close. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and you want to lean into being part of the problem? Like, we get the reveal, thanks to you, of what the motivation is, and that's where you want to go with it? You want to pretend it's something other than what it is? That's how we got here.
Yeah.
That's how we got into this mess. They are not going to be part of any solution.
No, they're not. There's no common ground.
Checking a
They're
can.
fighting back. And I said, this has been my change. And I know that we don't agree on all political issues, by the way. I think that's why it's good for you to be here.
Kitty, what are
5
you
years
doing?
ago, someone would have said, you know what? And again, I was very clear before you came on the show. Not condoning or supporting violence, just going out. No. But 5 years ago, someone said, man, it looks like there's blood in the streets. Time that we really have to whoa, that's a little radical.
All right, let's
Not
get you
supporting,
food.
not condoning it today. When someone says it seems like there's blood in the streets and it's inevitable, I don't, you know what? There are other ways, but I get it. I get it now. Does that seem extreme to you? It doesn't seem irrational to me. Because our blood has been all over the streets for a long time until someone dies. They don't give a shit.
Folks, something big is about to happen with this nation. This has nothing to do with wearing masks again or selling our farmland or
Be right back, guys. Had to feed this little kitty.
It's about to come as much worse. What pisses me off is the mainstream media and big pharma refuses to talk about this. Because rising cholesterol is going to destroy this country faster than any war. So if you want to protect your loved ones, then listen closely. I have this secret video. It's completely free to watch, and I urge you to check it out on the next page. It will explain everything you need to know about cholesterol and what they're trying to hide from you. Go watch the video now before it's too late. God bless, folks, and stay safe.
Jim. Excuse it.
I know you're not rooting for it, and I'm not rooting for it either. You're saying, as a practical matter, would that be the next logical thing to expect? Given how angry the right is, how victimized the right has been. I mean, truly, the left loves to play the victim. They love it when they're not. They invent fake names, disorders, etc., and claim victimization of white privilege and white anti-black racism all the time when it doesn't exist. We actually are being victimized. There's no other word for what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday.
Hunted.
He was hunted, and they victimized his beautiful wife and their beautiful children, and all of us who loved him, and his message. That's actual victimization, a word I hate, but it happens to apply here. But they don't see it. They don't see it. Like, I have had some people on the left reach out to me and say, I hope you're doing okay, I'm sorry, and whatever. I appreciate the sentiment, but like, until they actually listen to us, until they actually listen to what we're saying, stop calling us Nazis, stop demonizing us for having completely within the mainstream thoughts about these hot button issues. Yeah, fuck them. Like, what good does that do? It reminds me when John Lennon was shot and his assassin was asked about it, and he said he was sorry. And it might have been Walter Cronkite, but it was one serious newsman came on the TV afterward, and his first reaction, which was very rare for the time because they didn't express their feelings openly at the time, was, and what good does that do? And honestly, that's the feeling I'm having in response to almost all of those sentiments today.
Yeah. I got a couple of those texts. I got one from somebody who was actively involved with the doxing of the house for my children's sleep. Hope you're safe.
Oh, come on.
Stop it. Yeah, that's what we lived through. And that's what I know you lived through. I mean, I was on a sore spot, but I've talked about you. It's just another microcosm. With you and your people saying that Megyn Kelly's white supremacist for Diana Ross coming out. But you realize that she was talking about girls who were fans of Halloween back in the day, dressing up as Diana Ross because they loved her, and she was saying, isn't that something that's not racist? And she was made to feel.
I was Walter Payton for Halloween in kindergarten. And I think my mom stopped me from going in blackface. She's like, nah, David, you can't do that. Why not, Ma? He's black. Walter Payton, though.
No white supremacist for that? Here's the thing, that drip, there are people out there, Megyn, who believe that you perform a minstrel show. There are people out there who believe that you kill every single last transgender you could. And those people, if given a shot, would take it. They take it. And that's where we are.
They do it, and they do it with impunity, and they're never going to stop doing it. They don't care how many people they hurt. They have an agenda that they serve, and they serve it like a Satan's disciple. I mean, they'll never stop.
Satan's disciple.
Look what they did to John McCain.
Trump goes through, like, how does he have the energy, the courage, the strength? I don't know how he does it. Say, even if you hate the guy, you couldn't get on as many planes per year as he does.
On the left, I don't even have the stomach to go on Blue Sky and see what they're saying right now about Charlie. I don't understand the lack of humanity in these people, and they're not going to stop. You know, like that instinct that we saw on MSNBC between Katie Tur and Matthew Dowd to dehumanize Charlie, literally within moments of him nearly getting his head blown off. I don't understand what that is. That's not human. Those are not two human people I can relate to or understand in any way. There's no getting along with them. There's only defeating them. That's all there is. That can be the only mission right now.
You're right. And you know what? This act of violence against
Dude, your
Charlie,
foodsies.
and I'm not saying that there's a silver lining anywhere in any of this, but I will say that's an admission that they've lost the left. It's an admission that they lost the war of ideas, and so this is what they resort to, and they do it because they're evil. If they're taking out someone who's sitting at a table expressing ideas, that means they know that they can't win on ideas. That's what I understand, and I do understand that people are. I think, you know, I came up with a tutelage of Breitbart. I was always, comedy club, an online guy. They set the fight. These people are. They don't care. They don't care. There is true evil. Doesn't mean all people are Democrats, but people in the media, the people you're describing, the way I understand it is, they have a heart of evil, and that's right. And I know you have a heart out, but please tell me that you are doing everything that you can to be safe. And this is the frog jumping out of boiling water, but I really do hope that everyone out there, that profile is very cautious right now because Spurgeon is still out there.
I know. Thank you, Stephen. And honestly, when I saw truly the motivation behind the assassination too, of course, I wondered, would somebody be next, and do we need to, take this into serious consideration? Of course we are. So yes, we're amplifying our security, just like I think most people on the right are doing. And
Megan, stop the plastic surgery right there. No more plastic surgery for you. You're done.
you know what? That's a uniquely right phenomenon. I don't think the hosts of The View are worried about that shit today. I don't want them to have to worry about it, to be clear.
Right.
But I mean, our side doesn't do that to them. We talk about them like, that's a lunatic idea. That's insane. This is crazy what they're saying. We almost start calling them Nazis. This is like the amount of dangerous rhetoric that they throw on our side over the most milquetoast benign.
Well, they're communists. And how do you even define all this shit? I always thought globalist was nice. It wraps everything up, but that became anti-Semitic, and that kind of got dropped and shit. But, I mean, even abortion is making room for the third worlders to come and fill up America. So abortion is linked to globalism. Like, it seems that globalism is the umbrella under which this is all happening. Like Phil Labonte on Timcast is always saying, quoting somebody probably, that something about the issue is never the issue, revolution is always the issue. And to me, it seems like globalism is sort of like the ultimate revolution. Well, until you get into crazier shit like, human hybrid robot humans and shit like that. What do you call that? Transhumanism. Until you get to like transhumanism and like traveling on the planet. What do you call different dimensions and shit like that? Like if we keep it a little bit smaller than all of that. Right.
Things, it's like it's not enough for them to diminish. Yeah, that's insane. This is crazy what they're saying. Wait, I'm gonna start calling them Nazis. This is like the amount of dangerous rhetoric that they throw.
Yeah, like they're not all transhumanists. Fucking Satanists? Shit, man, that might be better. Should we just start calling them Satanists? Because it's all that do as thou wilt stuff. I mean, pretty sure they're anti-transhumanism in the Bible. So, goddamn, it might just be Satanism that describes all this evil. Shit, Jesse Lee's right, it's just evil. It's making noise. Alright.
On our side, over the most milquetoast benign things,
I got a kitty cat inside and outside noises outside, so I'm not sure if the kitty cat's making some fucking weird noises where she shouldn't be dicking around. Because, man, she is crazy. She climbs everything. She's nuts.
It's like it's not enough for them to diminish or criticize. They have to ruin and endanger our side. Like, that's where we're at.
Oh, yeah, she was...
Now,
what are you...
On the right, you have to walk around with teams of armed security. It's just beyond...
What?
But, yeah, I'm definitely...
Where did you even get that?
Well, thank you, Megan. I appreciate it.
where did this even? Oh, you can't be eating on that. Come on, man. Have some couth. God damn it, Cat.
I have more to say. Today we're going to be live all day. We're not going to Rumble Premium Monk Club, but we'll be doing the cast. And
Timmy Cast did the same thing.
I bet they know that there's going to be a lot of coverage or a lot of viewers, and so they're like, well, we might as well throw them a free episode so they can see what it's like to have the full episode. And you know, I mean, I can't blame them. They want to be seen.
They do it every time, Chuck.
Charlie wants him to be seen. God damn it, Cat. Oh, this cat's going to death me.
He was risking life for them. That's all of us. And I know that not all of you have a platform, have a voice. But there are some people who are willing to be that voice. Like,
come here.
Not just us here. Go out, show support, send your prayers.
I got you.
Do that. And if you feel so
I got you, kitty cat.
delete today, National Manifesto,
I
fight
got
back,
you, kitty
here
cat.
as long as we can. And by the way, security that we have to pay for all to a membership, we're supported by viewers like you. We don't have Raytheon as a sponsor. Consider joining up. Click that button. And let's open up so people can give a subscription to other people if they want to. We're going to be taking your chats. Gerald, was there?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, kind of echoing that, like that's, you know, that they took Charlie.
That's
They were really trying to take an idea, an ideology. They were really trying to take all of us out. They were trying to silence us. And there are moments in our lives that we can look back on as galvanizing moments. It's very, I don't know what the right word is, but today is obviously the anniversary of September 11th, right? And I think all of us living through that moment.
That upset you, September 11th? Oh.
Neighborhoods that didn't have American flags had them. The sense of patriotism, the sense of putting aside petty differences and coming together, rallying around who we are as a people. That sentiment was bigger and bolder and out more in public than I had ever seen in my life. And I think this is one of those kinds of moments as well. We have an opportunity to rally around one another. That's why, yes, subscribe, support here. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Do it elsewhere. Not just here, guys. Elsewhere. Go to these other places right now. I will support them. Subscribe to their content. Support all of these people because we need to band together. Yes, we sometimes have differences, and we talk about that. We're very open about that. It doesn't mean we hate anybody out there. We just have differences sometimes. But we have to be front and center so that they see that they cannot take this movement out. It will only make it stronger.
You find little spots. Oh, wait.
And I will say this, the big difference between...
Crazy.
But by the way, we have 7+1 later because it's still our job to entertain you. Difference between this and 9/11 is it's Americans, so-called, killing Americans. I don't want to rally with them. We used to rally as a country.
Sure about that?
Foreign adversaries. I want you to rally. People say labels and teams. Yep. I want you to rally with your team, and I want your hand to be on a swivel for those who aren't. There's no hold hands, we are the world. There's no hold hands, we are all Americans. Until this genie gets put back in the bottle from the left. Until there is complete and full accountability from the left. This is exclusively our problem. And we're the only ones who say Nazis and propagandize people and genocide. And you do have to look at the trends. And we really are the side of violence. I mean, billions of dollars, we burned down cities based on a lie and thousands of casualties. And now Charlie Kirk, and you know, we saw the warning signs when there were assaults and punches in the face and rocks being thrown and people being beaten with bike locks. And a guy being shot in the head just for being a Trump supporter. I believe it was in Seattle. It's just us. And we got to change this. And we understand why some people may think that they need to answer our violence. That's what exclusively we are with violence. We understand it, but hey guys, let us start with helping cooler heads prevail. But when they try and put it on you after your blood and after your people is spilled dead, no, never in human history has that worked. The only time that happens, the only other time in human history where someone or a group spills your blood, acts violently against you, and you end up on the same team. It's called conquering. Never did people have their blood spilled, their guys get taken out, and go, all right, hey, cool. No. Either they retreat the left, or they are going to continue conquering you. And since they can't conquer in the world of ideas, and that's what you saw with Charlie Kirk sitting at a table at that very moment. Charlie Kirk, words, ideas, and for the umpteenth time, actions and violence from the left. So you let me. And then they pop psychologists, gaslighting. What? Again, I don't know all of the accusations the left made of Charlie. I just know that they're untrue. I don't know all of them. Guarantee you Nazi was in there. Guarantee you genocide was in there. Guarantee you trans erasure was in there. Guarantee you racist was in there. Guarantee you homophobic was in there. All I know is that they're all untrue. And we have to, I can tell you myself, you have people out there who, my God, might actually believe that I was in a marriage where I beat my wife. Why? Because the media tried to present that. I'm one of the few people who, in court, you know, is verifiably completely untrue. Doesn't matter. If you end up going out there and beating up on women, inches you a little closer to violence. You have people out there who believe that I'm a Nazi. You have people out there who believe that I want to kill every transgender American. That's not true. It's not true, but my God, that inches them closer to violence. I have had terrorists from Strix on performance is more than just a number. It's a feeling.
The cat is out of the bag. Yemen, by way of Sweden, posts my address. The only reason I'm still alive is because in a YouTube comment someone cross-referenced the zip code with the local PD. That was 2014 or 2015. One side has to remain unlisted. One side has to have people posted outside their house. One side has to make sure that their children are constantly protected, has to know every single minute of every day. And then, well, I had ex-employees dox my house.
You're so strong.
And it was sent by someone closest to me. And then I had to stand before a judge. I don't know what the Twitterverse is, what this stuff is. And said, no, I'm not, I guarantee you Charlie Kirk went through this. I'm not paranoid. I'm not crazy. There are people out there who want to kill me. And you have it used against you. Guarantee you he was going through that. Guarantee you he had people who didn't understand. Why? Because the media said so.
Oh, the conservatives always want to act like they're martyrs.
Everyone, how many times have you heard this?
Looks to me like you're speaking freely, Charlie.
Sure. But that's in spite of your efforts. Because of the measures taken. And you can't take all of them, and they don't always work. What you're seeing with Charlie right now is just the one that finally got through. It wasn't the first time. And we've been telling you about this for years. I lived it. He lived it. Guarantee you he lived it in a state of day. Guarantee you he lived it in courts. Guarantee you he lived it in the court of public opinion, where he was constantly under threat. And what you are seeing is someone who was radicalized. You're seeing the one that made it through. It's a constant threat. It's a constant threat. Why do you think? Do you think that Charlie Kirk, let me ask this, do you think that Charlie Kirk, when he was starting out, when he was a 20-something-year-old, does he think he had 20% security? Does he had a bulletproof vest? Does he get armed cars? No? Okay. Before he was shot dead, murdered by a leftist terrorist, he had all those things. Why the fuck do you think? Because it was a block and a block. It was the left. Coming in. And I know what it's like, because everyone in this position experiences it. And Charlie and his people with a block and 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 a block. And the left, while they're doing it, say, looks to me like you can speak okay. You're no victim. And then, maybe you're tired. Maybe you missed something. Maybe the leftist terrorist is just that clever. But a block and a block and a block and a block, and one gets through. And then they act like they care. Why do you think Charlie Kirk went to a bulletproof vest and full-time armed security? Probably for the same reason we have here. And it could be any one of you. As a matter of fact, you're more exposed. Because you may not have the resources.
I got it. No
cords.
cords. No, that's different. That's different. That's not good.
And all of us
That's
in
not
the
good.
No, we're not good.
Rawr.
The
Rawr.
left keeps saying, no, delusional defender, narcissist. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to wake up at 2 a.m. and have a package sent to a place that was unlisted because it was doxxed by people with an axe to grind. And I know that Charlie did too. And I know he lived with this for a long time. And he deserves a lot of respect. I think people
Oh, man, she got it.
deserve the honor and respect because he was killed.
Oh,
He deserves the honor and respect
She's
because
a killer,
he knew it
man.
was a possibility, and he did it anyway. And he knew it was a possibility because he, like all of you, but just to a more intense degree, knew the left was. And he did it anyway. Not honoring the death, honoring the man who knew, who had to live with that fear. He did it anyway. Whenever you watch someone out there in public, Charlie, whether it's me, whether it's Shapiro, whether it's whoever,
Get it.
just know.
Yeah.
That's the back door. And know when they go home, it's the back door. You don't get to shut it off.
All for advocating a position that at least 50% of the country shares. Some French ideology, really quickly. Supporting, and I didn't name them in this group, I apologize. It's assumed, but don't assume it. Support TPUSA as well. I don't know if there's an official way to support Charlie's family yet. If anybody's seen that, I'd love to be able to point people in the right direction to do that, to do anything we can. Really quickly, the FBI out of Salt Lake City has released a photo. They're asking for help identifying this person right now.
I didn't even think of that. Like, that's pretty shitty of me to have like Venmo shit up and stuff like that while Charlie Kirk's family, like, you know, needs donations and whatnot. It didn't even dawn on me till now. This is like, you know, the first couple of days I'm ever live streaming. If I thought a little bit harder, I might have like done something different, but nobody's really watching anyway, so it's no big deal.
So 1-800 call FBI, I believe is the number that they put up there. If anybody has any information about this person, please get that information into the FBI so that they can give it a person of interest. They're not saying this is a shooter, but they're saying this is a person of interest. They want help identifying. So if we can get like a screenshot just of the picture, I think we can get that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I've got this. I think it's like
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Gotcha.
All right. So we'll get more
Oh, that's the fucking...
congregating right now is important. Next steps. Hey, and I
belts, clip,
Yeah.
you can put on your belt, no bolt. You can slide around anywhere on your belt. You don't have to get crazy tactical. Get something on you, have it on you, know how to use it, and mentally switch yourself to ready to use it. Because you don't know if that's a fight lock. You know what? By the way, people get killed by fight locks. You know that? You're fine. People get killed by objects, by boxes filled with metal launched at them when they're not looking. Looks like you're fine. You've never seen this coming.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Oh my god, this cat is fucking insane.
Oh no, cat! Ah! Oh man, cat's nuts.
You know what else? Puts people in danger? They trust your institutions. Guarantee you that Charlie doing
Okay.
USA face the same challenge.
Okay.
The fact
Okay, I think we're okay.
administration,
God
you get a
damn it,
permit,
this cat's
you send
wild.
it to someone
Oh
that
yeah.
is secure on campus, and then they say, sorry, you offended people, and the administration says you have to move. And you can go back, and then you're in a different spot, and then you're on a sidewalk with a bunch of professors crossing their arms. Think that maybe increases the risk? Anyway, Pop Crowder, let's fix that. I mean, you've been there. You've tackled people who tried to run up a...
Not well, according to Gerald, but, you know, I do my best. I play hockey. Well, you got quite a reach. Yeah, that's about it. He got around me, but he moved around. A couple points, though. You know, this is important. You mentioned Charlie saw it coming. Well, maybe you didn't see it coming, but you knew what he was operating. Let me ask you this, man. You've seen all these great montages of him, pictures. Did you catch it? He was with his family. His kids are always rotated away from the camera. Why is that? Every same-sex couple that adopts a family, they rotate their kids away from the camera. Half the country might not agree with that position, but they know, that we're good, we're safe. Both sides. And your point about the university, I had a guy come up to me and say, hey, you're going to play in a show in a 2,800-seat theater. He said, Maya Angelou just played that theater. She didn't need any security. This is the chief of campus police who said this. She didn't need any security. Why do you guys expect all this?
Maya Angelou.
Well, stop asking that question. She doesn't need any security.
Oh shit, cat. God damn it. Alright, the cat got me. The cat got me. Give me a sec, guys. I gotta straighten out the camera. God damn it, cat. It's probably my fault.
Here's our adopted family.
Alright. Holy shit, cat. Come on, man. Be cool.
So Josh and I, a lot of people may not know this, I met Josh because he was performing when I was the first time in Spokane, Washington, and he booked that club. And,
Holy shit.
When he booked that club, and
Alright. Now stop picking with the...
Would
Would you?
Well, they didn't walk out. They didn't come to work. They called out, and it was kind of an issue because it is a high turnover
Oh no.
job, and they needed all the
No, no.
people like to buy tickets to your shows.
Yeah. We had metal detectors.
Yeah, first time, by the way, first time that comedy club I worked for a chain, comedy club. Well, not the time, but
Oh, this cat's defeating me.
they had to get.
Oh my
I signed
God.
into it. They're like, hey, Steve, if you're opening more, you find the metal detectors. Like, oh great. Yeah, we just call who? Who do I call to rent metal? Everywhere they go, yeah, you can buy one for $3,500.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thanks.
Thanks, metaldetectors.com. I guess I'll go down my list.
Thanks, totally safe detectors.net.
How many liberal comics do you have to go through there? And they ever need that?
Never. It's you never have. Yeah, so many, by the way.
Almost most.
Almost most. Yeah, but some of them are like the Adam Conover of the world. He came through. Didn't need anything. No. You know, you got all these people. They're all. I don't want to name names. But they don't need security. First time I texted that yesterday.
And we still had issues.
The owner, I texted him yesterday. I go, do you think Steve is crazy now for metal detectors? He goes, not at all. Not at all.
And then you get people on the right who cancel that. I thought you were pro-Second Amendment. Well, look, I understand where you're coming from. But anywhere else out in society, it's 1 to 1. It's not 1 to 5,000.
You know what's funny too about that Silk mandate? All these local staff who called out, they want to work because of your ideas, what they've heard about you. The next week, they heard from the other staff.
Oh,
You are a very generous person. You are a generous person. Your crowds are generous people. They came back and heard how much the other staff paid them tips. They were like, it's free enterprise. That's how it works.
Yeah, they're not. Damn it. They're not Bernie bros.
I was sitting at home for no reason.
Yeah. No, I say so people understand this is always, you live under this threat. Always. You step out. Fight like hell really does mean fight like hell. Fight like hell really does mean if you are right-leaning and you step out and you fight, you can expect to take some serious hits. If you don't take the precautions, you will be taken out. You will be taken out. You saw the one that got through. We have to take precautions, and Charlie had to take precautions at least the last few years of his life. They're going to let you...
Boxes, sure, they bring you stuff, but they can't make a pool day more fun. Maria, though, who sold you her loungers.
No. Maya Angelou, for crying out loud, is a cultural icon. Probably drove in a Volkswagen Bug, went on stage, and walked off and...
Oh, alright, no, that's too confined here. You're gonna hurt yourself, baby. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take that away. Oh, okay, you're a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. Oh, you're too crazy, though. Come here.
And look, we don't talk about this a whole lot. We talked about the change my mind stuff where security, when we were talking about getting back out there with this. First conversation we had
Who's a good
before we
ginger,
even talked to you
huh?
necessarily about even if you wanted to go, how you want to do it was how do we make it safe?
Oh,
Like,
God, are you
I
alright?
had conversations with my family about social media.
Shit,
about
oh
this.
my God.
And by the grace
Oh,
of God,
he's
they've been
castrated.
pretty good about it, but they don't understand. I got calls and I got texts yesterday. They understand.
Oh
And I
my,
hate that they
no
have to
way.
feel
Holy
like this to understand when
shit.
your dad calls just to check on you because he knows that you're in this industry. You know, it's a well, yeah, but it's different. Like we have been living under that. That shouldn't be the case for holding political opinions or ideological stances that are pro freedom, pro your voice being heard, pro your rights being protected, pro the economy getting better for everyone. Like it just is baffling.
And your dad shares your name, so there's a little
Well,
secret.
yeah.
I remember when you came to me with a change my mind. I don't think you went to anybody else. You said, look, I've got this idea. Tell me what you think. You know, the left is always
Oh
saying,
my
can't we just have
goodness,
civil
so we
discussion?
call this the parkour kitty. We were just in the kitchen, which is right next to us over here. And I was putting away the fishing rod, because if we leave it out anywhere, she gets to it. So I put it by their food stuff. And before I got it in there, like if this was the kitchen, I had it up kind of high. It was like up this high. I was like keeping it away from her. She jumped off the wall and then back like up higher, like super parkour style. You're fucking wild, cat. You are fucking wild. This is my first like kitten experience. I've lived with these two big old fat cats. Well, one passed away a little while ago, but her sissy remains. I lived with her for 10 years, so I'm used to big old fat old cats, not kittens. That was some wild shit. She jumped off the wall and fucking grabbed the thing. Somebody was telling me that they decimate local populations of birds and shit. I'm not surprised. She's a goddamn beast. A beast. You guys want to meet Ginger real quick?
Mind stuff where security, when we were talking about
Ginger?
out there with this, the first conversation we had before we even talked to you necessarily.
Who's the girl?
If you wanted to go, how you wanted to do it was.
You want to say hi real quick?
That we think it's safe.
Yeah. Oh, you're so good.
I had conversations with my
You're
family
so
about
good.
social media,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
by the grace of God, they've been pretty good about it, but they don't understand.
Hopefully that's in the shot. This is Ginger. Oh, hello.
And I hate that they have
Hi.
to feel it like this to understand when your dad calls just to check on you because he knows
Oh.
you're in this industry.
She's getting to be a fat piggy. You gotta put her on a little fat piggy diet.
It's different. Like we have been living.
Go refresh my coffee.
Takes for holding political opinions or ideological stances that are pro freedom, pro your voice being heard, pro your rights being protected, pro the economy getting better for everyone. Like it just is baffling.
And your dad shares your name, so there's a little
Well,
secret. I remember when you came to me with a change my mind. I don't think you went to anybody else. You said, look, I've got this idea. Tell me what you think. You know, the left is always saying, can't we just have civil discussion? Can't we just sit down and talk about some of these ideas? And he said, I think I'm going to do that. And invite people to come up to the table. We're just going to talk. We're going to see if there's emotion. And
Holy shit, it's 4:30 already?
Work things out. Real visionary. Going around the world 2 billion times. Real visionary, Jen.
Start watching Timmy Cast around 5:30.
We never had speakers.
Or from 5.
You can hear me on the left or take them down.
Well, maybe 5:30 if we speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, that was your idea. And you get big on it. And the people in the crowd were like, we can't hear you. That's by design. This will be played in an uncut fashion online, so you know they smell that outside a mile away. We edit anything. And it goes out raw. And the left agonizes themselves. Edits. And the risk, if we were broadcasting, not to show up in a unfurled manner at the card table, puts you at much more risk.
Yeah.
And we decided, we just said, we couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they have more deals because it's a big organization. Like, it does happen. I remember when you came to me with a change my mind. I don't think you went to anybody else. You said, look, I've got this idea. Tell me what you think. You know, the left is always saying, can't we just have civil discussion? Can't we just sit down and talk about some of these ideas? And he said, I think I'm going to do that. And I invite people to come up to the table. We're just going to talk. We're going to see if there's emotion and logic meeting and how we can work things out. I was real visionary. Going around the world 2 billion times. Real visionary, yeah. But we didn't broadcast it. It wasn't about, we never had speakers where, hey, everyone can hear me on the left or take them down. No, it was to be a civil conversation. That's how you, yeah, that was your idea.
He's wearing penny loafers. He's got to be good old man shoes. I should look into them.
And you get taken on it. And the people in the crowd were like, we can't hear you. That's by design. This will be played in an uncut fashion online, so you don't get to smell that out a mile away. We edit anything. And it goes out raw. And the left agonizes themselves. Edits. And the risk, if we were broadcasted, not to show up in an unfurled manner at the card table, puts you at much more risk.
Yeah.
And we decided we couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Yeah. And I'm sure they have more deals because it's a big organization. And like I said, things get through. But I just want you to not just see the horror of what happened to Charlie, but know what he was living with before that, and the risk he was willing to take anyway. Know that there was a lot of blocks being put up, and there were a lot. I had Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro and I have had our differences. Say like, hey, thanks, you actually saved my life. I said, yeah, I know our differences. I'd do it again. He said, no, I know. You're that guy. People handed one of my producers an ice pick, and we're going to get a sawed-off shotgun in their trunk.
Yeah.
And we had it all on camera. By the way, people were arrested that night with said weapons by local PD. And I handed the footage to ABC News, happened to be there. And no interest.
it's just amazing. Like, the news would actually get a lot of play out of that footage. If the news was like, oh, hey, by the way, these fucktards are running around trying to stab people and shit, people would be like, huh? And they'd watch the fucking news. Like, if, I guess if they'd report the truth in the actual news, like the shit we watch, then, a lot of people wouldn't be as, like, out there as they are.
The vitriol coming out against Ben at that time. Ironically, that was in Utah. Yeah, well, that was in Utah as well, but the one I saw specifically, I think it was before this, was at Berkeley, where there was all these riots and protests for him. Just speaking, just having a conversation. It just happens on one side. It points to me that the speaker on the left happens to.
With Steve's producers and ice pick, and we're going to get a sawed-off shotgun in their trunk.
Yeah.
And we had it all on camera. By the way, people were arrested that night with said weapons by local PD. And I handed the footage to ABC News, happened to be there. No interest. Not.
Because it was Ben. And that was
Because
at the time, I couldn't.
one of those Jewish Nazis.
Yeah. I could not believe the vitriol coming out against Ben at that time. Ironically, that was in Utah. Yeah, well, that was in Utah as well, but the one I saw specifically, I think it was before this, was at Berkeley, where there was all these riots and protests for him. Just speaking, just having a conversation. It just happens on one side. It points to me that the speaker on the left happens to. With Dean Withers and all those guys, they're putting up their Un-F America tour. And they're basically, in most of the bios that are included on the people that are going to be there, they mention Charlie Kirk, or Charlie Kirk, I think is what they called him, or any other name they could come up with. Did they face any pushback at all? And I don't want them to, don't get me wrong. I'm not calling for that. They're saying they don't have to live with that same kind of expectation that somebody could come and try to take me out.
He was going to Charlie Kirk's events, his Prove Me Wrong events, and going right up to the front with his cameras and his boys that are obviously bigger than him, and yelling out stuff and trying to antagonize Charlie.
Yes, of course.
No, but none of those thousands of people did anything.
No.
None of those thousands of people threatened him.
Totally safe.
They might have, pushed him back or said, hey, get out of here, or
Yeah.
you're a douche or whatever, but
It shouldn't be.
he never once feared for his life. He put a video out. He put a video either yesterday, or maybe it was yesterday, he put a video of him crying with the Charlie Kirk thing. And as he's crying about it, putting on his theater, a little bubble pops up. Join the fan club.
That's right.
A little pussy.
You know what? Join the fan club so I can fuck with other conservative lives and inspire violence. You know what? Hey, join the clubs, not just us. Join the ones of people who are fighting for you. Because as legacy media dies, the only media you're going to have left is the ones that you support. That's all you're going to have left. But let me just, when I say inflection point, I was on with Lane the Brain here yesterday. And you can come in and let me know if I'm speaking out of turn. Because when this happened, I'm sure people here might even think I'm Kurt or a dick, because I have to keep from becoming emotional. I process it by joking, maybe trying to be a little bit more stone-faced, and then went home, and that's when I let it go. Because if everyone is crying here, and that makes it really hard. But we were already exhausted, because the Roots was not to be forgotten. That's what we were covering, and it really took its toll. And then this happened, and Lane, does great work. He said, I wasn't here with you before, I just feel everything's been sucked out of me. He said, how do you deal with it? I said, well, first off, follow routine tonight. We'll get to do the rest.
It helps to be Irish. We're born for this shit.
Everything's been sucked out of me. He said, how do you deal with it? I said, well, first off, follow routine tonight. We'll get to do the rest. And get as good a night's sleep as you can. Won't fix it, but it'll recharge you enough to go away and do long. And then keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because it adds up. And that doesn't apply to him, it applies to all of you. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. I said, Lane, by that, what I mean is today, when people released and ran with the story and said, this is the shooter, and you said, yeah, I don't know, the guy seems crazy, but I don't know if that's the shooter, and everyone was saying, I got it, this is the shooter. I said, no one else had that internal conflict, because you care, and you're not just trying to get a click, but be right and help people. I said, keep doing that, because it may not be the flare in the moment, but it adds up, the integrity adds up, and that's why someone, under the umbrella of the DOJ, texted us today. See, Mike, see what I'm talking about? They trust you, it's the credibility, and then I said, you know what, though? You're going to see a new right wing. You're going to see a new conservative. I've been here on YouTube since 2008. I've seen it change. So back then there were none. It didn't exist. The flying spaghetti monster. Comment if you remember. That was the go-to for anyone who was a Christian. You were assumed to be an idiot. Persona non grata. I said, well, you know what? I think it's a valuable character. I think there's something there. And I kept going. I said, but the left does. What I mean by fraud and boiling water. Stay with me. Is they push and push and push and push and push and push. And then you find yourself at the point where you go, okay, wait, how many? 15 minutes. Go to the course of 3 years. Okay, oh, wait, how much? They don't want any type of abortions. How many crossings? Okay, wait, 15,000 late-term abortions every single year. How many sanctuary states where children can be ripped from their parents and hidden and given mind-altering puberty blockers and hormones? Okay, all right, wait, that's right, Nazi. How much armed security do I have to have? Okay, that's right. Add it up. Oh, wait a second. You're not allowed to report crime statistics on the world's biggest media tech company? Okay, sure. And you've been backed up so much. Then at a certain point you have to go, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing here? And jump out of that pot. But I will tell you this. As defeating as that may sound, the flip side is true. Here from 2008 to now, and the billions of places, that adds up. And Charlie Kirk, doing what he did, for that amount of time and influence, that adds up. And generation of people comes, that adds up. That adds up. When people hear these ideas, they go, wait a second, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't have overwork. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, maybe the science is in now. We shouldn't alter the minds of young children. Add up billions and billions, and that adds up. And this frog is jumping out of that boiling water. It's been turned up slowly. And because of the seed that has been planted by people like Charlie and everyone in this movement, there's a new right wing. There's a different right wing. And they're going to fight back. This isn't Bush, Gore, Bush, Kerry, Romney, Obama. It's not that dynamic. It's you've been killing.
Life can be difficult sometimes. If you or someone you know is having a hard time, the 988 Lifeline can help. Call the 988 Lifeline today and receive confidential support from a local counselor at no cost. That's 988.
Us in startling numbers. And if you're not killing us, you're killing our reputations with lies, and we're not going to do it anymore. We're not. You've lost the war of ideas, so now you're killing and intimidating. And we're not going to err on the side of mercy and grace. You approach a table with anything other than a handshake, you should expect violence. You approach and yell with a sign or say Hitler or genocide, at least a tackle. The left has to be so afraid, so petrified from even thinking of committing a violent crime. Not even a murder, a violent crime, an assault, battery, doxing.
I don't know, people are just getting wild. Like, how is that any different than the magical N-word, you know? So now if somebody calls me a Nazi, I'm supposed to tackle them? Come on, man. People just, they're not thinking right now. Jesse Lee Peterson, man, all day long. Read his tweets and shit. The guy's a goddamn national treasure.
Going to your house. They have to be so terrified because the consequences are so severe that they start straightening up. Not all people will vote Democrat, but the activists that you've had to deal with. You know, the ones who shoot up schools. You know, the ones who killed Charlie Kirk. And the ones that you don't see, who tried to kill Charlie Kirk, who tried to make Charlie Kirk before this. And yours truly. And you'll probably never hear about those. You know why? Because the security issue that takes place, the threat, the attack, discussing it publicly is a security issue in and of itself. So it becomes a personal hell to live through. And it's only one side. Why do you think Charlie Kirk, before he was killed by a leftist terrorist, and never flak jacket, and prosperity? He didn't. Then he did. Why? Why do you think, Josh, for the first time I had metal detectors? Why do you think venues see security they've never seen before when someone comes in? Whether it's Charlie, whether it's me, whether it's Ben, whether it's Michael Moe, whether it's Matt Walsh, they'll all tell you the same thing. Why? We didn't have that until we had to. Maya Angelou doesn't need it. People, I don't even know on the left. I know they don't. I know they don't. Frogs jumping out of the boiling water in the seed that was planted by people like Charlie and the work that you support and will continue to do and not be intimidated into silence has created a new right, a new conservative. It's new conservatism, populism, right, whatever you want to call it, that understands the threat that we are facing. That's the new day. That's the change. It's awful. It's an awful place to be. It's an awful decision to have to make. And Charlie should have never had to make it. Out of almost everybody. We talked about opinions. We talked about his approach. He shouldn't have had to make those decisions. There should be no risk. None. Zero associated with someone allowing anyone who wants to come up and have a conversation and talk about taxes, gun rights, abortion, or transitioning children. That should be a riskless endeavor. It is. Just for one side. That needs to change.
One thing really quickly that you said that, you talked about the routine, getting into that. One thing that helped me immensely yesterday was I was in a Bible study last night for about an hour and a half. And I'm telling you, man, that as much as Charlie's message was about conservative ideas and principles, it was about Christ. It was about getting in the Word. It's about considering the case for Christ. So if anybody, if you're searching for answers today, like I know a lot of us were last night, like start in Scripture. It's a great place to ground yourself. If you're somebody who's just like me, like I'm in Scripture every single day. In those moments, jump back in because nothing makes sense outside of it. Yeah, especially on days like yesterday. Like, I think we all felt that. Or your soul was ripped out. Yes. You know, like we specifically were attacked even though we weren't. You know, it was just unbelievable.
Two things that really, maybe I'm praying on this, but I like to get to the 7+1 train.
a good way to put it. It does feel like it was an attack on all of us. Charlie lost his life. His family lost their father and husband. A movement lost a leader. But they wanted to hurt all of us.
Was Andrew Wilson that called me last week.
I worked very hard on that.
Yeah. We all did.
Did you ready to segue?
Yeah.
No, that's Steve's job. That's boss.
But we Andrew Wilson called me last week. I was like, you know what, think about going out for 10 years doing cheap mind against something started. You should do it, and I think especially now with the 10 weeks. It's very encouraging. And then he called me yesterday and said, yeah, I would want to do it. He said, don't do it. And there was nothing self-serving about saying it. He was trying to encourage me and I said, yeah. He said, you're in the menu. He said, you're in the menu and stuff. They're like, oh, there are people looking out for me. And my lady, my missus, who is Latina, therefore crazy, texted me, oh my God, I swear to God, if you ever do another change my mind, I will kill myself. She does love me.
I'll kill myself.
You know what?
Okay, go. I'm pregnant.
Everyone expresses it in their own way.
Fucking crazy. That's
And
awesome.
I don't know if we open up for people gifting subscriptions. They do that.
We did get a couple of really big ones. So, Grimly Man 2 with 50.
Wow. Thank you so much.
LD Hallway 2-2 with 90.
Wow. Great job, guys. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you guys very much.
Wonderful.
And thank Rumble, thank Chris Pavlovsky. I would not be able to say the things. Let me ask you this.
No.
Do you think that I said things today? Do you think that are we expressing tape in chat? Are we expressing? Am I so far out there that you feel disconnected from what we're saying? Does it seem too radical? People, is this what you're feeling? Is this what you're saying?
You should tackle somebody if they say
Things that
Nazi.
need to be discussed because YouTube says he can't. Rumble's the only place where we can.
They absolutely need to be discussed. And I hate when people use
I mean, I
war
get it.
analogies for things that are nothing close to war, but I think the perfect. It feels like a war on speech, war on ideas.
It is.
It's fair. And we've seen it mildly, we thought was mildly, with censorship and administration getting involved with private companies and what they're allowed to post and what they're allowed to let be post on their sites.
Yeah.
Facebook, Meta, YouTube, obviously.
Yeah.
It feels like a war on speech.
That's a very important point. I was talking to Lane too about this yesterday. I said, here's the one thing that you can always be guaranteed. And I want you guys to listen. And I mean this. It's not hyperbole. I'm going to speak in absolute. I stand by it. Whenever there's a major tragedy, whenever there's a major conflict, whenever there's a major flashpoint, inflection, and you don't have all the information, and you probably don't have all the answers, the only guarantee is that the answers the left will provide will be wrong. They will be incorrect. Let me prove it. And it's not like I'm Houdini. It's that they start off the...
I know why they're always wrong, because they disagree with the right. The right comes to their conclusions, usually by way of logic, reasoning, decency, tradition, what's right. So we mold our opinion. They have to mold theirs oppositely. What's the opposite of logical and decent? The left.
The Colonel is a lie. The Colonel is a mystery. So if you were to look at Charlie Kirk's in cold blood terrorist attack, murdered, leaving children fatherless, I hope I drive that home so the left understands. Charlie Kirk, as you referred to him before he started acting like his friend.
I stopped at the bars last night a couple of times to see if it was enough people around and stuff to light a candle and do an R.I.P. Charlie sign, but there were people. Long story short, it wasn't the right environment. There weren't enough people around for it to kind of like make a difference. Everything was pretty quiet and shit.
If you look at that problem, though, both sides, heated rhetoric, cool it down. The solution will be wrong, because the solution will be more censorship on the biggest platforms, predicated on the idea.
So I lit a candle right here for him, during the live stream, but I don't need to go out and do it on the street like I admittedly would be doing it to piss people off, and there weren't enough people to piss off. I'm like that. I'm an asshole. That's what you got left after you got rid of Charlie. A bunch of fucking assholes.
Idea that both sides get radicalized and commit violence. Now, if you start with the truth, which the left cannot, they are incapable of doing, which is only one side is experiencing this level of violence. It's not even close. The solution will be, hey, maybe we need to stop marginalizing and demonizing.
If I hear Gabby Giffords one more time, I'm gonna puke blood.
The half of the country that elects presidents and the presidents on the world's biggest platform. The solution the left offers will be wrong. When you look at Zarutska and you see what happened, the left, starting with the Colonel was a mistruth. It looks, this is going to be used. This is going to be used to generate racism. And so the solution is, racism is a problem, and so we need to correct those wrongs by being empathetic through our system. What can we, cash bail? Cashless bail? Catch and release? solution will be wrong. If you start and you look at the roots and you go, okay, what we're watching is a woman dying, senselessly, alone, but in public, at the hands of someone who is 12 times more likely to kill her, white, than a white person is a black person. That's been going on for a long time. Your solution will be, hey, we need to stop with the laws that pander to and cater to criminals. The left looks at those crime statistics, and by the way, I spent a lot of time looking at the arguments from the left. You know what their entire argument is? Their entire argument is, no. The 13, 15, 30% of the population, 50% of the crime, it's because of racial bias. It's because of the targeting, not the crime, the targeting. Let me tell you where that falls apart. The targeting doesn't explain verifiable lives lost at 12 times the rate. The targeting, okay, 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than a white person. So they have bodies. Are the police just targeting white bodies? 12 times the rate. It falls apart. Transgenderism. Training. Shorthand. You look at that problem. And what you have is something that's always classified as a mental illness, a mental disorder, gender dysphoria, where people had the delusion that they were in the wrong body. Okay. Now, the left start with the kernel, the lie or mistruth, and go, hey, actually, it seems that they're born in the wrong body. And so we need to be empathetic, and we need to enable, we need to empower these people to change all the facets of their body and hormones that don't match up with the right body. You can even find clips of that in Law and Order SVU where they actually say it happens when a boy is born with a girl brain, or a girl is born with a boy brain. Solution's going to be wrong, because if you look at the truth, you go, okay, what do we have as far as studies? What do we have as far as the most comprehensive study? Do all studies ever conducted show that a transgender individual, if he is biologically a male and they examine the brain, confirm that it's a male brain, and the same for females? Yes. The solution would be, this is a disorder that is not in line with biology, and so we need to help them because they're sick. If you look at immigration, and the left starts with a mistruth. The left starts with a lie. That kernel, hey, these are just people seeking a better life. And we're a nation of immigrants, and you know what? There are net benefits in this country.
At Trixon, performance is more than just a number. It's a feeling.
But we need to allow more of it, to the tune of 15 to 20 million in 3 years. But if you start with the truth, not all of them are just seeking a better life. There is a large criminal component, and even those who are not a part of the critical criminal component enable the planets right now to have more slaves on Earth than ever in history, over 50 million. That flourishes under open borders. Underage sex slaves require democratic policy for immigration. Also, they're not a net benefit. They drain $150 to $450 billion from the taxpayer a year. The left solution will be, give them a fast path. Don't deport them. And the right, identifying the truth, will be, we have to do something about this, limit it, and protect the taxpayer. The left, looking at gun violence, starts with the kernel, it's a lie. It's a mistruth. And they go, oh, a gun was used. Kill somebody. We need gun control. That's what will change this. The solution is wrong, because 94% of mass shootings occur in gun-free zones. And we know, if you look at the truth, firearms are used far more in defensive uses than mass shootings, and it's not even close. And there's no way to get it. The only guarantee, we don't have all the answers. By the way, I even see those on the left right now with Charlie Kirk.
I saw that a lot. I saw a lot of posts that were basically, hey guys, comeuppance.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah. Guarantee you Charlie Kirk would stand by his statement today.
100%. Absolutely.
Guarantee he would. So maybe we need some gun control. Don't let Charlie Kirk die in vain. Don't let them twist that narrative. We don't have all the answers. This morning, because of Jay and Undercover, you have some. And that's not me, that's them. That's your infrastructure. I'm incredibly grateful. We don't have all the answers. But one guarantee, one certainty, in life, 21st century, we don't have all the answers. Whatever answer, solution, prescription the left gives you will be wrong. Always. Always. Turning politics into a team sport. Stop being wrong 100% of the fucking time and we can talk.
I have to jump really quickly. We do have a lot of people that may have just kind of jumped on the stream. So do me a favor and just recap the exclusive story that we had. Pull that back up and just what was put out, because the media didn't do a good job of covering that. I think the only one that ran with it was the Wall Street Journal. There may have been some others since then, but this morning early on we put this out.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Again, we kind of live in a bubble here when we're in the studio. So this morning, and this was because of the Undercover unit who done great work in the National Manifesto with Jay Barma, the COVID architect, DOJ for Donald Trump. Because you supported them with your membership and because the trust credibility bill, they were sent this morning a leak. It was nowhere else from someone under the DOJ in detail. And the reason this was sent to Jay and Undercover unit is because this person was concerned that it may be buried. So this is part of the ATF memo regarding the shooting. Multiple SLC-1 and 3 agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds. All cartridges have engraved wording on them, expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. An emergency trace has been submitted, and ATF SLC is working to generate by the trace. They're taking the ammunition, the firearm, and examining it. Yeah, but just to be clear, it was a bullet engraved with the ideology that has been echoed from all of media, the left, every single presidential candidate for the last, call it 8 years. And the reason that we were sent this, you know, an illegitimate online entertainment show, if you hear NPR say it, is because someone in the DOJ was concerned that this would be buried. Was concerned that this may not get out there. You know what? I think they're right. I think we didn't get out there first. I don't think Wall Street Journal got it. We'll never know.
You know, the CNN wouldn't put it that way because they had access to this information, but cultural phrases. I'm trying to think of what that could mean. Cultural phrases. Yeah.
Cultural
What's a cultural
phrases.
phrase?
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wakanda
sure. It's
forever.
Might be Baba here.
So I do have another exclusive update.
Is this what you're talking about earlier?
No, it's not related necessarily to this, but this is important and timely. So apparently from Al-Qaeda in if I go ahead and pull it up, yeah. So Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula is basically saying they're calling for Muslims in the United States to commit acts of terror and attempt to assassinate President Trump, VP Vance, Secretary Rubio, and Secretary Hegseth, all Muslims in the United States to commit an act of violence, jihad, and choose your government targets wisely. So this is coming from Spec Ops Command. Kind of an internal source.
This is exclusive to us.
It's exclusive to us. Now, to be fair, this kind of thing does from time to time get
Well, that's good.
issued. It also is September 11th. It's kind of, you know, it's something that I'm sure that they've had eyes on before, but this was sent to us as something that was very relevant today for everybody to be aware of. So especially if you're in communities with a heavy kind of population, or it's just keep your head on a swivel there. I hate to say that, but it is very relevant today for everybody to be aware of. They're coming for us. I want you to be caring, and I want you to get there first. Make sure.
But for people who are new, I am not. I hope that I've crystallized. And anyone here disagrees, I open for. I am not encouraging active violence. But I am advocating a hair-triggered defensive approach now. Hair-triggered. What I mean is err on the side of caution for your life and your family. No more grace if someone approaches you violently and makes it known why, because they've been radicalized by the left. Err on the side of swift defense. I would rather see that than see another Charlie Kirk. And believe me, the left would like as many as possible. They'll feign outrage or sadness today just long enough so that they can claim it and this is something that they can recycle.
Or they do it so they can mask the next thing they're about to say. Yeah. They can say it under a veil. Like, oh, it's so sad. It should never happen. It has no place in our politics. But he did do it to himself.
Right. Yeah. And this time, America on edge amid rising political violence. No, CNN, America is not on edge. Half of America is on edge right now. The other half is living comfortably knowing that the other half isn't going to do this stuff to them. Half of us are on edge. You put up a graphic a little while ago with attacks, different kinds of attacks, plots going back to 2011. There was one exception on that list. Charlie Kirk was at the top of that list. One exception. All of those were politicians. No politician shouldn't have to face it either. Supreme Court justice, somebody in the government. These are all government officials. It's different. It came outside of that. Somebody talking about ideas. It shouldn't happen to anybody, but I know you want to lump it together with everything else that's happened and try to paint a picture of escalating tensions in America. No. There's escalating tensions on one side, and they're coming after us.
Not anymore.
To address it, can you please just make sure that our voices get heard on this, so we don't have any more Charlie Kirks? Can you please do that?
And you know, I don't think they're saying that anymore. I don't think they're saying an illegitimate pseudo-news organization, entertainment show. Not anymore. Guess what? There are other ways to get information out. Yeah. I'll give you one. I don't want to put you on the spot here. Army Ranger. I want to say sniper. Basically sniper. Shooter and all. Nobody could have made that. Yeah. Give us your insights on that. That was You were talking earlier about you gonna get that at an entertainment show for Tommy Thomas's expertise. You were talking earlier about I think going online posting a picture of the guy that was arrested. That poor Larry David lookalike.
The wrong one.
That dragged out. Everyone said, "Oh, he's a shooter." Those people aren't deleting their posts by the way.
No, those people got those clicks.
Yeah, they got those clicks. They're leading up so they get more clicks. You get 8 cents for every 1,000 clicks you get on Twitter or whatever the hell it is.
And before you go, I just want to say, when I say support those on the right, not a single one who does that. Not a single one who's posted false information, like, for example, Ruth had that Black Lives Matter flag in her room and it turned out to be different. Not a single one who does that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk.
A lot of people that source everything. And they speculate everything. And it's on both sides what they do. They do speculate. Friends of ours. And that's one thing I love about the show is that, before coming here, maybe I speculated time to time. And it's something I learned from you and from everyone around here is that, hey, we get the facts right before we say something. But yeah, all the speculation. You see all the speculation about the shooting. There's no way it's just some random person. It's got to be a professional hitman. This is a job by Mossad. This is a job by the CIA. This has got to be a professional hitman. No way you can make that shot in and that from 200 yards away. It's like, shut the fuck up. What do you know? What do you...
Oh, with the bitch.
You know,
that's not even a stretch.
Go back to your video games. What do you know about this shit?
Yeah.
200 yards is not a far shot. First of all, especially even a cheap optic. Because you get a 2x4x, a 4x optic that costs under $300. 10-minute YouTube video, 30 minutes in the range. You got your gun zeroed.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to zero your gun with you?
The 9mm carbine.
Yeah, the CZ, I think.
10 minutes. Maybe.
And that's because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you didn't know what you're doing 5-10 minutes, a YouTube video,
Yeah.
tell you where to click. It's not hard. It's not difficult.
Yeah. I have
You
with
can hit the guns.
a zeroed optic rifle. I have had a woman who never shot it before hit a dinner plate at 200 yards within the first 10 shots.
I was aiming for the neck.
There it is. That's right. That's the
Look
right.
at that optic.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
This is not exclusive. I can't remember what New York Post put this out.
But it's a really important point, Josh. Yeah.
That's
Speculation. Someone who doesn't know about guns. It's just like the semi-automatic thing. Someone goes, "Oh my God, that's something like." So someone goes, "It must be CIA or Mossad because you're saying 30-06 couldn't make a 200-yard shot."
Yeah, Mossad's using an old gun.
Yeah, Ian Carroll put that out, and
And it's like
names of people because he put that out, like the Israel shot him right from. And Dave Smith, to his credit, said, "What evidence do you have that Israel was involved in this at all?"
Hey,
Still waiting on that.
Hey, you know what? And by the way, it
Israel's
would make a whole lot of
fight
sense.
too.
Would make a whole lot of sense because he was criticized by all the people who hate Israel because he was too pro-Israel. He Charlie Kirk, right?
No, but it's these people that are out there.
Well, but Josh knows because
Yeah.
you've shot professionally.
Yeah, and it's like, I learned how to shoot in the Army.
Were you asked to be a contributor on any of these shows too?
No, I wouldn't be because I'm not an expert. Just not an expert in the field.
Just a
I'm not,
You're more of an expert than Ian Carroll.
Unbelievable.
yeah, but you just pull out there. That's an expert shot in the neck. Well, who aims for the neck? Wasn't an aim for the neck, he missed.
Yeah.
An expert shot in the neck.
I don't think it's good.
No, my defense attorney as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was trying to kill Charlie Kirk.
The speculation is just,
He was still effective with that shot. You know, I don't even think that's a stretch for relatives. We have to go deer hunting. 30-06 with a scope, a 200-yard shot in a deer. That's not even unheard of. It's not at all.
no, it's not.
I mean, when you were with me, after zeroing, this is a pistol carbine. I'm not a great shot. Lever action.
Yeah.
357, 183 yards. And I hit the gun.
Hello. You're going way too fast.
I said, well, that's about as much as I can ask.
Yeah, I remember. I was trying to hit it with my pistol. I'm not great with a pistol.
Was that his Red Rider? You were zeroing in?
Yeah,
No, he was zeroing, but no, I hit it. I said,
No,
that's about as much as you can ask because it's a pistol carbine. Shooting a handgun cartridge, 180 yards, still possible. With a rifle round, I mean, if you go to an actual rifle range, 200 yards is a pretty standard measure. Like, it's not even the farthest one. A pistol range will go out to 100 sometimes, like just to kind of test. It's usually maybe 30, 50 in that stretch. But a rifle, I've been a rifle range.
My point is just the facts. My point is that level of expertise on a comedy show.
No, I know.
That's the point. These guys, it's just amazing to me. But there's a new sheriff in town. This whole world we're in, these people don't own the day anymore. They can't, proactively or practice to deceive.
Yep. And before we go to chat, speaking of comedy show, because I know it's been a heavy 2 days.
Oh no.
Transgenders. I'm writing a segue as we go. Transgenders permeate everything and ruin everything. And it's actually been a real problem. We were talking about this in the video game industry, where there was a disproportionate number of developers and video game designers transgender, and the community was pushing back. And look, I have no problem. You're just a good game designer. I don't think that your gender should be relevant. The problem is when it sort of seeps in, and you see that maybe they're pushing an agenda with the game itself. And we have some examples. I've heard this week. 7+1 radical trans video games.
No, they'd never push an agenda.
And like I said on the outset, if you don't like it, great. This could be a swing and a miss, but we thought you guys would like something to
put the blame on me.
a little
Sorbet. I blame Josh.
I think we need
Cleanse the palate.
7+1
Monitor me later this month.
7+1 radical trans video games. Number 7, Josh.
Sonic the Fletchhog.
Oh, well, that's wow. Hey.
They did Photoshop it. Oh, nice.
This is one of
You're
my
gonna collect those rings.
7+1.
What do you collect with, Josh?
Yes.
7+1 radical trans video games. Number 6, Duke Nuke Them They is.
I was hoping I'd get that instead.
Look, the point is, trans develop. Just make a good game. You don't have to shove it in your face.
That's all.
You know what? I give this one to Pops Crowder because he doesn't know video games. It'll be funnier. 7+1 radical trans video games. Number 5, Pops Crowder.
Luigi's Haunted Mangina.
Wow! Oh no! Wahoo! Gerald, you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
You know, I'll do number 4. I'm going to have you do number 3 because it's near. 7+1 radical trans video games. Number 4, Super Gash Brothers. They're not. Just make games, guys. Keep your politics out of it.
Stop it. Star Fox.
Number 3. Number 3, Gerald.
Kill Her Instinct.
Oh, well, I.
That's great.
7+1 radical trans video games. Josh, number 2.
Number 2, the one whose Photoshop was denied. Rainbow Six Final Affirmation.
Yeah, that was one where we said not today. Not today. Happy Warriors, we are. Number 1, 7+1 radical trans video games. Number 1, Gerald.
Wonky Dog.
Oh, hey. And +1 radical trans video games is Yoshi's Sex Island, and that's just don't play it. It's not age appropriate. It's rated MA. This has been this week's 7+1.
You forgot the one in the chamber.
All right, let's take some chats, and thank you to everyone who gifted out those super chats. Like I said, fight like hell. Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to say we do have another 50 from Brady.
Wow.
Thank you, Brady. The leak today to Jay in the undercover unit. Hey, maybe if we didn't get it out, maybe everyone else would have covered it. I hope so. But we know that didn't happen with Nashville. We know it didn't happen with DOJ. We know that didn't happen with Chippewa Falls. The credibility has been built with the team here, and people trust them. We protect our sources, and of course, everything we do every day, and then the ability to speak as we do. We are supported and funded by viewers like you. We don't have a nonprofit. We don't have giant backers. We don't have a Raytheon sponsorship. We have a few sponsors every now to do it as long as we can. It's time to fight like hell. We'll do it the only way we know how. Support everyone out there who's standing in the pocket for you. Let's question chat.
All right, first chat from Native Born in 92. Question to Stephen and crew. Where do we conservatives go from here? What comes next after the murder of Trump? Is Colin Brown out the window?
This idea of
Alright, we're gonna put a pause on that. Head to some Jimmy Cast. I usually watch him on what do you call YouTube, but the hotkeys here are pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul.
No one alive on September 11th, 2001 will ever forget the shock and horror of that day.
We'll see what the future holds.
It was a fucked up day.
Thanks for joining us. In fact, one of the articles Mother Jones wrote.
I was in mushroom class when I learned about it. And what our crazy little mushroom teacher, she looked like a mushroom, she said, we're under attack. She sat down all fucking frightened. What are you talking about? We're under attack. They're flying planes in the buildings. Everybody should go home. Wild times. Where are you, Timmy?
Were some false. Today, there was a bomb threat at the DNC. There's currently reports of an active shooting.
Bomb threat at the
in Annapolis.
DNC.
There were some false threats, bomb threats, and shooting threats at various universities. And of course, it is 9/11, and it is the day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, what the bitch?
Can't fit in those jeans. Be careful with these.
All right, let's talk about Eve.
That musical fruit. This is our last Trump mystery box drop. Next time you see this, it'll be gone. We're giving away Trump mystery box.
Present tense, and it's happening.
Sorry guys, I fucked that all up. Trying to mess with the volume.
There were some false threats, bomb threats, and shooting threats at various universities. And of course, it is 9/11, and it is the day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. As I was watching the news earlier, I couldn't help but I just had a strange feeling. Every few minutes, they were reporting some type of conflict. The ones I just mentioned. And I'm thinking to myself, what this is insanity. Maybe people are panicking, they're on high alert. These universities where they're reporting shootings or bomb threats was because people are panicking and they're genuinely terrified following what happened to Charlie. But the media, of course, has already responded. And, of course they did. With numerous outlets writing that fears of civil war are emerging, or that civil war is here or coming, or that even Donald Trump is fomenting it intentionally to steal the midterms. I kid you not. Videos are emerging of fights breaking out. People are not tolerating the rhetoric coming from these activists.
Jesus, I didn't even think about the midterms.
Charlie deserved it was thrown into a fountain.
Thrown into a fountain. Fuck you, commie.
Over the actions of these progressives on the left.
That's
Trump put out a
excellent.
statement last night
Scare these
talking
bugs
about the
back
radical left
underground.
and their rhetoric. So, to be honest, there was a lot of news to go over. What with these shootings.
So I'm being contradictory. I'm glad the guy got thrown into a fountain. That's spur of the moment type bullshit. That I'm gonna say, hey, good job. That's awesome. Fuck these commies. Eat shit, commies. But like,
kind of premeditating it beforehand. Hey, somebody says Nazi around, you tackle them. Like, I don't know. I think that's the wrong take. I get it. I understand they're fomenting danger against the shit like that, but I mean, we call them dipshits for doing the same thing because they're dipshits for doing it.
Bomb threats, etc. There's also the FBI releasing an image of a person of interest. TMZ publishing a video they say is of this person who appears to be walking strangely, perhaps because they were concealing a weapon. We're not entirely sure. But all of it seems wrapped up in the cultural phenomenon that is on X, 2 millions of views. On Blue Sky, 2 millions of views. In the comments of our old shows that feature Charlie Kirk, these leftists are calling for an escalation. Certainly, there are people on the right that are saying this is war. War's here. One post has nearly 10,000, I think around 8,000 to 9,000 retweets, saying that civil war is now. And so that is my fear. But what I will say is, if you pay attention to the show, we've discussed everything that brought us to this moment in the past several years, which we'll get into. Right now, of course, we fear the safety and security of our friends, our family, other personalities. And as much as I would have preferred to leave with any other story, I think this is the conversation that is happening. And so we just have to have that conversation. And so we will. So, my friends, thank you for joining us.
What are you doing to me?
Like the show, if you do like the show, share it. If you'd
What
like.
are you doing, silly?
No Promo Spots today. Joining us today to talk about this and so much more is Jay Johnston.
Hello, how you doing? Thanks for having me. I will tell you what I do, so you don't have to ask. I'm a ex-comedian, ex-writer in Hollywood, and I was at January 6th, which was a big blip and caused me to not be what I was before. So that's still my plan to do that stuff. But now that that's over, pardoned and everything, so we'll see what the future holds.
Right on. Thanks for joining us. In fact, one of the articles Mother Jones wrote that pardoned J6ers are calling for a civil war in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
So
But we'll talk about everything. We've got Tate Brown hanging out.
Yeah, T. Brown here, relief host here at Simcast. Mostly dark times we're in, but I'm glad we're here.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Morgan. You can find me on Pop Culture Crisis here at Timcast.
Mary, you're about to fuck bunch shit up, aren't you? She's about to fuck bunch stuff up.
Here's the story from The Independent. The reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder proves America is closer than ever to its next
Hold on,
civil war.
but.
The most terrifying aspect of the reality of the United States is not the assassination of the 31-year-old Trump activist, but how people have responded. Writes Stephen Marsh, author of The Next Civil War, as the sense of collective mourning no longer applies, this is a turning point for what comes next. He actually writes a pretty great article. He makes a great point, which I will read through this. I want to show you some of his other articles, where he says that even the cold-blooded murder in broad daylight of a 31-year-old man in front of his family was not enough to make these people recognize right from wrong. And I don't disagree. Take a look at this article from International Business Times. First, Charlie Kirk, are Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro next? Fears grow for conservative influencers. Mother Jones writes, pardoned insurrectionists are using Charlie Kirk's death to call for civil war. We have this from The Lever. We must stop this civil war before it's unstoppable. The Lever actually writing that it's already begun. They're writing in present tense that it's happening. Here's Yahoo Finance. Concerns grow to bot networks, maybe amplifying calls for civil war after Charlie Kirk killing. And perhaps, on social media, that is what we're seeing. This post on X, it says, open carry now, civil war has begun. It has 5.8 million views and 8,400 retweets. We have this post from Common Dreams. This is a well-known activist organization that published the article saying, is Trump inciting a civil war 2.0 to steal the midterms? And then we have this from NDTV, Civil War Echoes. Sanjeev Sanyal warns U.S. resembles April 1861. I want to read a little bit from The Independent, and then we can have this conversation. The reason why...
Be right back.
You know that we've talked about this quite a bit. I, of course, have talked about it, and I will say it, and I wish I was wrong, but I was not wrong. And to all the people who have continually denied what we have discussed on this show for the past several years, we have not been wrong. We've been relatively vague, and that's fair, because we're not making heavy predictions. But I will remind you of this. One of the things that really irked me was in September of 2020, I stated on this show that were Trump to lose, these right-wing people are going to rush the White House, they're going to storm the White House, they are not going to just let this go idly by. And that was just passive thought. That was just, I can't see these people letting Trump lose. What happened? January 6th. I said in November, after, if Trump loses, this was going to happen. What did happen in January? People stormed the Capitol. Following this, people used used my earlier accurate prediction on the left to claim I had foreknowledge of January 6th and should be criminally charged or investigated. In fact, I was just reading the news and making a prediction, and what did I say just last year? The identity of the killer and the reasons
What's up, puppy?
hardly matter.
What are you doing to me?
Whoever they are,
Go get your
whatever
food.
their intention, the fallout is utterly predictable. Divided America will divide further. Political violence already surging will surge further. And look, this from NDTV. It's happening. Here's Young Finance. Concerns grow that bot networks may be amplifying calls for civil war after Charlie Kirk killing. And perhaps on social media, that is what we're seeing. This post on X, it says open carry now, civil war has begun. It has 5.8 million views and 8,400 retweets. We have this post from Common Dreams. This is a well-known activist organization that published the article saying, is Trump inciting a civil war 2.0 to steal the midterms? And then we have this
What's up,
from
puppy?
NDTV.
What do you want from me?
Civil
We'll go
war
walking soon.
echoes.
It's not time
Suicide
yet.
note warrants U.S. resembles
Hello.
April 1861. I want to read a little bit from The Independent, then we can have this conversation. The reason why, you know that we've talked about this quite a bit. I, of course, have talked about it, and I will say it, and I wish I was wrong, but I was not wrong. And to all of the people who have continually denied what we have discussed on this show for the past several years, we have not been wrong. We've been relatively vague, and that's fair, because we're not making heavy predictions.
No.
But I will remind you of this. One of the things that really irked me was in September of 2020, I stated on this show that were Trump to lose, these right-wing people are going to rush the White House, they're going to storm the White House, they are not going to just let this go idly by. And that was just passive thought. That was just, I can't see these people letting Trump lose. What happened? January 6th. I said in November, after if Trump loses, this was going to happen. What did happen in January? People stormed the Capitol. Following this, people used my earlier accurate prediction on the left to claim I had foreknowledge of January 6th and should be criminally charged or investigated. In fact, I was just reading the news and making a prediction. And what did I say just last year? In a debate on the Culture War show that Donald Trump would use the military in the eyes of immigration enforcement, the left would not tolerate it. There would be a battle between the governors and the federal government over control of the National Guard, and it will escalate. And that is exactly where we are right now. And every step of the way I said, I hope I'm wrong, maybe I'm crazy, maybe this right now is the point. This story where people say, this has gone too far, left and right, Christian, Jew, Muslim, come together. They say, guys, we can't live this way, and they hug it out.
Come together.
Maybe this is the point.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I'm going to read this from Stephen
That's
March.
good stuff.
Who says,
It's the point of
Simon Wright,
oceans.
suspect in the shooting of Charlie Kirk, is
Keep
still
the
at
goddamn
large. His
apart.
motivations are unknown. But the identity of the killer and the reasons for killing hardly matter. Whoever they are, whatever their intention, the fallout is utterly predictable. Divided America will divide further. Political violence already surging will surge further. America will continue further down the road to perdition of the Republic. He says far more political figures have been murdered in American history than the history of any other democracy. More than a quarter of U.S. presidents have either survived an assassination attempt or died in the hands of a killer. But in the past, each assassination, a president or a judge was treated as a collective national tragedy. It was understood that the violence perpetrated by whomever was a disaster for the body politic as a whole. Politics exist, after all, to save us from violence as a means of resolving disputes. The sense of collective mourning no longer applies. The reaction to Kirk's death instantaneously split American discourse. He was a 31-year-old man murdered in broad daylight in front of his wife and children before a crowd of thousands at Utah Valley University. Americans could not agree that that was unacceptable. I don't want to promote or identify people on social media who crowd about the death like their team had just won a football game, but on my feeds at least, it was not limited to a few cranks or extremists. Quote, what about the children killed in Colorado? Was a perfectly common sentiment. Anyone left who imagines the political assassination of their opponents is going to lead to more stability or a better America is seriously deluded. I will say this personally. A high-profile individual, a liberal that I've known for 10 years, posted a video on their Instagram saying, Charlie Kirk got what he advocated for. And I was shocked that they posted this. Because I genuinely thought that there was still reason left in some of these people. But I can't say that I feel that way, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Kitten? No, you be nice, puppy. It's a kitten. Oh, God, you sneezed at the computer. How me looking? Ah. Oh, you got me. Who's a kitten? Hi, kitten. That kitten came to say hi and watch Timmy Pool. That kitten wants to watch Timmy Pool with us.
Now he goes on to add, journalists are now
the
targets.
puppy.
The political class and judges have been under extreme threats since Trump took office. It's hard to even keep track of it anymore. The former House Speaker of Minnesota and her husband were murdered in June. A Molotov cocktail was thrown at the governor of Pennsylvania's house during Passover. And U.S. judges who sit on Trump cases regularly receive pizzas delivered to them as an intimidation tactic. Targeting journalists is new. Last month, the New York Times editor Joseph Kahn had his apartment graffitied in New York.
Is she fucking with your
Kirk's
tail?
assassination
Is that
is
kitty
the
fucking with your
organic
tail?
expression of these trans people was really scary. Charlie Kirk is not a
Kitty,
journalist.
come here. You're tripping out the dog.
Personality. He was a civilian. He was a man who expressed opinions. He didn't write for a great news publication, purport to be a journalist. He shared his thoughts on the goings-on of this country. And this is what's
You gotta be
terrifying.
friends.
Now, there's
gotta
much
be
more that he
friends.
writes about, but I don't want to just keep, ranting
No,
myself.
she just touched it with
The
her
point, I
paw.
think, is clear,
Relax.
and you have seen it. The comments on social media on the left. There
We're
are
all
tiers of
friends.
this. From the overt leftist
Hey,
call
she
for
just touched you
escalation,
with her paw.
to
She can
publishing
touch
of
you with her
videos
paw.
of certain personalities on TikTok, Instagram, and X saying one guy said you're next, over and over
See what
again.
you did.
We know what the
No, you leave
implication
her
was that he
alone.
was making. Several are gloating, saying who's next. There's lists that have been published, which include my name, saying here's who we want next. There are people on Blue Sky, X, Instagram, etc. saying here's the list of people they want to go after. It is insanity, and that is all across social media. So, with that being the sentiment, that's one tier. The next tier are the people who are prominent liberals, high-profile actors, high-profile politicians, people like Ilhan Omar, for instance, who are coming out and saying, yeah, well, maybe Charlie shouldn't have said hateful things. So you have the tacit liberal, Charlie got what he deserved attitude. And then you have the overt leftist, we're coming for the rest of you. I will give a shout out to the handful of prominent liberals who have condemned the violence. Many of the high-profile Democrats have, and I respect that. Without naming them, because I don't seek to embarrass them, some of these young liberals crying on camera over Charlie's death, talking about how bad it is. But with all of that being said, it's the sentiment we are seeing reeks of an untenable bifurcation in the body politic. We have said it on the show many times. Where's the offering? And unfortunately, one of the most terrifying comments that I got was, Charlie Kirk was the offering. He held debates, and he succeeded at those debates. And were his methods to have been permanently successful, the course of politics in this country was rooted in having a conversation. Across Louisville, there are graphics that have been drawn up in less than a day of pictures of Charlie Kirk that say, debate this, with blood spraying from his neck. I refuse to watch the videos of these people advocating for my death and the death of other people, because I know it will just make me angry, and I already factually understand these people exist. I just fear that
Kitty, what are you doing? What's that kitty doing?
there is no
I think we gotta go bust that kitty.
and
Oh, we gotta go bust that kitty. Oh, you're such a heavy puppy.
every direction I look, and have looked over the past
Tell him,
several
Timmy.
years, this goes in one direction.
Oh, she's doing okay. She's right there. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly does seem the right way.
You're a good girl, Ginger. You're a good girl.
I mean, John Doyle had a viral tweet yesterday where he said, you just killed the last person in America that wanted to change your mind. And that's just the common sentiment you're seeing on the right. They're saying, this was the olive branch, this was the off-ramp, this was the pathway back to civil discourse. And they chewed it up and shot the man who was pushing that. So, yeah.
I just want to, I think everyone understands this. Charlie didn't think this was going to happen.
Oh, I forgot. Maybe we can't play with this right here. Here, I'll leave it here.
But this was a man that so believed in the goodness of this country, despite the violence we had seen,
Yeah, you're gonna hit yourself.
that he was
on
going out
something.
in public, doing his events, because, of course,
Leave it
none
right
of
there.
us thought this was possible.
Yeah, like I said this today on ECC, like, one of the things that's really frustrating, at least to me personally, is in my mentions and stuff with lives on X, because I tweet on the storm about the whole situation, retweeting stuff. There's a lot of people that say, oh, because I made a remark yesterday about, I want the feds to use their authority and actually treat these people as if they're inciting. And people are like, oh, what happened to the First Amendment? What happened to the First Amendment? The First Amendment was Charlie, right? Charlie was the guy that wanted to go and speak and use persuasion
of shooting Charlie was to shut the right up, make the right afraid to speak their mind. It's terrorism.
It was done with a written message on the weapon they found, and it was done in the most public way possible.
They've demonstrated that having critiques of abortion and gay marriage or transgenderism, the punishment for that is death. There's a segment of the country that has demonstrated that is what that warrants. There's no going back. There is. How do you possibly handle that?
I just think that if Charlie somehow were given any foresight that this was going to happen, he would have changed a thing. And that's why I think that the solution isn't just...
Well, I mean, he did leave a family behind. I doubt he would have chose to do that, but I hear ya.
More speech. Although that is going to be the consequence. And I'm glad that people are going to feel emboldened to speak out because of this. The solution, more importantly, is a spiritual one. And people are coming to...
Well, I'm not usually... I usually can't see the color of Mary's eyes. She's got very pretty eyes.
Just a day or 2 days. And that one of them is that we're living
Like the color.
in the midst of very real spiritual warfare that's going on all around us and inside us. It's mostly invisible, but yesterday it was visible.
Perhaps the most radicalizing thing I could imagine was the killing of Trump.
Was Trump one that said that he was a martyr, a perfect martyr?
I don't know. Trump said it.
What is the job of a martyr? What does a martyr do?
I
Yeah, and so he becomes a symbol.
Yeah. Trump said he's a martyr for truth and freedom.
You know, I mean, it remains to be seen because I mean, you're speaking of violence, beginning violence, and possibility of civil war erupting, or continuing, getting worse. You know, maybe that's not what's going to happen.
So watching the news today, seeing the DNC and the fact that they've activated over a bomb threat, not credible, reports of shootings at universities. That's what civil war looks like. That's what social collapse and governmental collapse or revolution, that's what instability looks like. People, I make this point quite a bit, that they think it's all movies.
There are no fronts. There's no attacks.
Everybody, there will be some, but if you take a look at the Syrian civil war, I've worked with people who were on the ground that showed me that we did not go on the ground. Although we tried, actually, I tried to get going. That's a crazy story. And so some of the people we worked with, in one instance, one of the circumstances, it was two guys with rifles hidden up in the back of a building in a standard parking area shooting people who walked by. They were rebel faction that were attacking people deemed to be loyalists or government actors, agents, or otherwise. So they were in an area that was controlled by the enemy, and it was just two guys. And so you're walking down the street, you're going to the market, and also you hear bangs, you know where you're coming from, and people are falling. And when I turn on the TV, and every few minutes they're reporting some kind of conflict, shooting, bombing, things like that, I'm not saying that we're in civil war. I'm saying that's what you can expect. If we were to enter one, it will not be battlefronts marching towards each other.
Huh. So I think what he's saying is it's going to be a Charlie Kirk or a fucking riot or fucking something weird, like a lot less space between all these events. Where it was a week and a half, it'll be 2 hours. Boom, 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 cross country, 5 huge news stories. It's wild.
They're not going to say, there's not going to be two groups that organize, Congress, internal, the People's Republic, and the
skirmishes. There's no skirmishes.
Skirmishes will happen. But it's not going to be the North and the South. That's not what civil wars look like. Americans are plagued by our history to believe that's what civil war is. But the issue was, you had, in the American Civil War, sovereign states that were debating with each other, and those sovereign states had armies. And they could negotiate as power structures amongst each other. The factions already existed. In almost every single civil war ever, random factions emerge in various areas. Partisans, it's not a unified front in any meaningful way. That's like Syria, for instance, or Spain, or Russia. And so what we're likely to see now, after everything we've seen, and I'm going to stress this again, as I've said every time, the time travel test I call it, go back 10 years and tell people where we are today. Someone will have shot the president in the head, fortunately by turning it, who would have grazed his ear. Another man will have gone to his golf club, aiming a rifle, trying to kill him. That trial ongoing now. That there would have been the January 6th storming of the Capitol, the riots and protests, the George Floyd riots, the firebombing of St. John's Church and the White House, the January 6th committee, the arrest of Donald Trump, the prosecution of Donald Trump, the accusations of insurrection and sedition, etc., the 21 years in prison for the Proud Boys. If you went back 10 years, and every day this story is crazy.
Girl.
If you went back 10 years and said, here's 10 years in the future, nobody would believe you. And the funny thing about it is, the proof is in that 6 months ago, well, I should say nobody believed. 6 months ago, people thought, I hope you're wrong, Tim. There are people that told me I couldn't have it. 2 years ago, they said, Tim's crazy, he's screaming civil war. And today, many of the general predictions that I made have happened. Up to one of the worst moments I couldn't possibly imagine, that things possible, but was going to fly, what we were discussing. And what I fear next, because I can see these videos that people are posting about Charlie, I can see the images they're making of him. The images that I am not going to share on this show, but are easily found on YouTube, where they are putting up these cartoon images of Charlie Kirk. It says to make this with blood sprayed from his neck. They are reveling, gloating in internet bots. These are real people celebrating the murder of a man who was engaged in democracy as they claim to want. And here's what I fear, and I would tell people, cooler heads must prevail. Victory will come through the fact that Donald Trump was a friend of Charlie Kirk and is our president. Many members of Congress were friends with Charlie Kirk and are in control.
No, that's not the chew on.
There are many prominent liberals who are terrified of what it means to be on sentence. Some of them crying on their shows today. With that being said, my fear is that there are many people who are inspired by Charlie Kirk who feel like they have nothing to lose because they are young men with no jobs, no wives, no girlfriends, no prospects. And they watched Charlie Kirk get millions of followers. They went to his events. And what will that person who looked up to Charlie feel when they see some guy with 15 million views on X posting that he's happy, posting that he would have done it himself, given the opportunity, and posting that he will do it again? There are people that are making videos saying there's more to come, and they're posting lists of names. My fear is that there's way too many people, as Richard Lynch has pointed out, that are young, listless men that feel they have no purpose, who have just been pointed in a dangerous direction.
I mean, that's the thing, is we know what to come next. I mean, we don't know the specifics, but we know there's going to be a lot of bloodshed eventually. And that's the horrifying thing. And that's why it's so frustrating to see so many, especially Republicans, telling police they're outside. It's like, guys, no, we impeach immunity right now. And it's like, they just shot Charlie Kirk. We want, like Phil was saying, we want the feds to nip this in the bud because we know the future we're heading on. We know where we're heading on. There's no peace community for people that want to kill you for.
Oh, the kitty got you. The kitty whapped you good.
What I am calling
and she
for
hid.
is the federal government to do what is there to do. Find the terrorists
She got you.
that will do this to other conservatives and put them in jail.
That's interesting. I'm not so much worried about right-wing men, listless young men who might have looked up to Charlie Kirk.
Whoa. You gotta be nice to the puppy. Holy shit, she attacked the puppy. You're wild. She wants to play. No, you're too wild. You're too wild. Look at you. Where's your legs? Where's your legs? You look like a bunny rabbit. Why do you look like a bunny rabbit?
Because they're good people. Because they have scruples and they have morals.
Come here.
Because TOS violations, Mary.
Which TOS violation?
Well, we can't say that we're limited to what we can or cannot say here, and also it's irresponsible to do things that are illegal.
For justice through the proper license to.
What the fuck's Mary calling for?
That will do this to other conservatives and put them in jail.
I'm not so much worried about right-wing.
Hey, don't fucking attack the dog! God. And you don't growl. God damn it, both of you.
Still, even now, the people who are being code policed by their own side
Puppy,
are still only
she's stalking you.
for justice through the proper
You don't see
channels
this?
because they're good people. Because they have scruples.
She's about to catch you.
Because TOS violations.
Come here, puppy.
Which TOS violation?
Well, we can't say that we're limited to what we can or cannot say.
Sorry, guys, I missed that again.
On the left to commit more acts of violence, and still, even now, the people who are being code policed by their own side are still only calling for justice through the proper channels because they're good people, because they have scruples and they have morals.
Because TOS violations, Mary.
Which TOS violation?
Well, we can't say that we're limited to what we can or cannot say here, and also it's irresponsible to do things that are illegal.
Yeah, but still, I mean, what would Jesse Lee Peterson do? When is he gonna be like, yeah, violence is the answer? You know what I mean? Of course, it's an answer in self-defense and things, but this talk everybody's talking is sounding awfully offensive.
Illegal. So I don't want to be.
Is that the only reason why you're
I don't want to be the guy.
federal government to do
I don't want to be the guy that's responsible for being like, oh, go take things in for your own. Like,
Now, if we're gonna declare civil war or something like that, fucking let's go. I know what side I'm on. Fucking let's do it to it. But till then, you know, we gotta do shit like the American way. Can't skip steps because the commies are fucking assholes.
I don't think that people should do that.
so okay.
And Phil should know that, which makes me doubt my position, because I mean, I'm sure Phil knows better than I do, but, you know, maybe, I don't know, you gotta, you can't let anger affect your decision. She is biting the shit out of me. Oh,
The federal government must.
you.
But the outcome to that equation is kindergarten.
What are you doing?
The only solution that we have before us is law enforcement. But when you are in a country that has a bifurcated culture, where, as Stephen Marsh put it, they can't even agree on a 31-year-old man murdered in cold blood in broad daylight in front of his family. When Donald Trump says, we cannot live like this, and we will have law enforcement against domestic terrorism, each and every one of you know what their response is going to be. I don't need to say. Who wants to say what they're going to respond with?
They're not dancing anymore.
They're going to say this is exactly what we predicted. Trump is a tyrant and it's self-fascism begins. They're going to say, and this is how democracy dies. The thunderous applause.
Your tail getting you?
They're going to call themselves the heroes. They're going to call themselves the Jedi.
Alright, I was just checking on the,
And then they will go
You're crazy. You are crazy.
All people who watch CNN.
She's attacking the arm of my chair.
When CNN covered the story about the
I don't think she's in
transgender
frame.
and
Maybe just a tad.
they omitted that information and called it cultural issues.
What are you doing, sweetie?
Then
Huh?
Seth Bolton went on CNN and said,
Are you crazy?
74% or some number of violence comes from the right and only 4 from the left. He said, made up statistic. And the CNN viewers are sitting there saying, yes, this was a one random thing, but the right's really the problem. When
Get
Donald
your
Trump
tail, sweetie.
responds by
Get your
saying, we will not tolerate seditious violence, murder, assassinations, the CNN viewer is primed.
Oh, is that what the cultural issues were? A range of phrases related to cultural issues were found sprawled on a rifle ammunition found in the woods near where Kirk was murdered. A range of phrases related to cultural issues. A lot of people are making fun of the way that's stated, but I mean, what else are you gonna do? Spell it all out? How else are you gonna explain it? I mean, you're not gonna call it dipshit communist bullshit.
But then say, see, we warned you. And that's what we predicted last year. I don't see any other path forward for Trump. Because what we're saying is, use law enforcement as legally empowered to arrest people who break the law. But that is always seen by these people as fascism or some slang against them. Let me pull this up real quick. We have this on Google. Yesterday, I should say throughout the month, Civil War had a moderate search volume. Of course, it now has maximum search volume. So this is a relative search number. 100 means it can't be higher. That relative to where Civil War was searched before, this is maximum search volume. It was around 50 on average. It's from 0 to 100. Yesterday was 73. It is now at 100. Media's writing about it, claiming Donald Trump is pushing it to the midterms. I can show you with the Common Dreams article. Mother Jones is claiming Jan Sixers are preparing for civil war. Stephen Marsh, who wrote the book The Next Civil War, is published.
Always
saying,
have been.
this is exactly what we warned you about it. You've never been closer. There are a lot of people, prominent personalities, that are going to say, stop, no, and don't talk about it. The unfortunate reality is, as Google proves here, everyone is talking about it. Whether anyone wants to admit it, the conversation has been happening across social media. Yesterday, I think the most common word saw on YouTube was the word war. And I saw people getting pissed off. Conservatives say, stop saying that. You can't tell people to comment. I look at the comments of some of these progressive YouTubers, war, just every other word. On one of our videos, the featured Charlie Kirk, new comments from 40
God damn, I forgot we were there for a second. I sniffed real hard. Sorry about that. Try not to be as
This is
gross.
the craziest I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, to your comments from a 4-year-old video, gloating, threatening, insulting. I mean, this is the craziest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, like, I don't think that anyone here would disagree with your estimation of what the left will do in response. Right? I just don't think that there's a whole lot of choice.
I agree. This is the dominoes falling over. Trump must use the law enforcement that he has, the law enforcement powers he has. The federal government, the people. DOJ, Cash, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem. DHS, they must use their legally authorized authorities to stop violent crime like this. The left is happy that happened. They lionized Luigi Mangione. On primetime television, they lionized him. They cheered for him. They clapped for the terror attacks in the Tesla dealerships. They do not exist in the same government that we do. That is an observation. When Trump wins, they say he's illegitimate. Trump is president now. Immigration was a principal issue. Many people are upset over the mass illegal immigration. So Trump says we will enforce the law. Trump has used only the law as is granted to him, and every step of the way they claim what he's doing is illegal. They have lied about everything, from who is responsible for political violence, to defending an adjudicated MS-13 gang member accused of beating his wife and charged with human smuggling. They have called him a Maryland father. So when Trump says, I have to deport the narco gang member, they go on CNN, on MSNBC, and these activist circles, and they look at the ignorant mass and say, Trump just arrested an innocent Maryland father and is sending him to a supermax prison to be tortured. So you know what the response is going to be. We all do. And the left is going to respond to that question. Now, where does that go? If you follow the equation with natural conclusion, we start entering into more variables as we make predictions moving forward. It seems like the only reaction that we're going to see, for a variety of reasons, will be federal law enforcement. One, because it is the standard response. The federal government enforces the law. But there's several things to factor in. Dan Bongino and Charlie Kirk were good friends. Cash Patel and Charlie Kirk were good friends. And Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk were good friends. And so the top of law enforcement, these people, they want something more than just the law and justice. They will follow that through. The left, I believe it's fairly obvious what they will. They're already engaging in, and have been for a while, I mean, with the firebomb, the attack on the White House. That's back in 2020. From there are many variables, and it becomes difficult to predict. Will Donald Trump win? Will he lose? Will we win? Will we lose? What does winning look like? I have no idea. It's entirely possible that this moment, there is a strong probability. Tomorrow, the left is completely banned, shunned, and ostracized. Because we are seeing prominent progressives, some speak out against this, but we are seeing prominent Democrat leaders condemn this. There was booing in Congress on Credit for Charlie Kirk, so I'm sure. There is a strong possibility this event is so shocking that even Democrats just say, leave me out of this and tell the left, you're on your own. And that cracks down and purges these people, and they are shunned and ostracized.
I don't think people appreciate the left and the extreme left are pretty much the same thing. Why? Because they all believe the same shit. They all believe in aborting a baby until its fucking heels are sticking out of the mom. They all believe in no borders. They all believe white people are bad. They all believe all the DEI inclusivity bullshit. Climate change. They all believe in climate change. They all believe in bigger government. So you tell me the difference. A far leftist wants to burn the whole system down. Well, if the leftists had their way, they'd change the whole system, which might as well be burning it down. I don't know. They're not very different. Their policies and the way they vote, the things they believe in, is what I mean to say, are not different enough for me to consider them different. Take all the things I just mentioned, from abortion to the environment, they believe in all the same bullshit, so you can be as moderate left or as crazy left as you want to be. So yeah, maybe the crazy left has a little bit crazier ideas, but it's like arguing about the temperature at which you burn a house down. Not even the rate. Like, this house is going to burn down in an hour. Do we figure out how to do it at 1,250 degrees? Or should we try to figure out how to do it at 1,700 degrees? Either way, the fucking house is burning down. And it doesn't really matter how hot it is.
However, what I will add is in Stephen Marsh's article, or The Independent, he points out that as he was writing his book, The Next Civil War, January 6th happened, he got a call from a friend who...
Because again, the not far leftists, the more moderate leftists, they believe in no ID for voting. They believe in all that stupid shit that's going to get you right back to the same place that the far leftists do. Yeah, there's not... If you've got a library and you tear it down, you don't have a library anymore. If you got a library and you turn it into a playground, you still don't have a library. Okay, now you got a playground, but it's completely different than a library. Maybe that's not a great analogy, but cool.
And said, sorry about your book, it's over. This event is so shocking, the American people are going to step back from the edge of the cliff and say, we cannot go this far. And boy, was he wrong. From that, Stephen Marsh says he fears.
We'll see come midterms. I have a feeling the American people aren't going to say shit. I have a feeling the only people that really care or know about this are people like me and you. Yeah, it's reaching normies. People are fucking belting out Charlie Kirk as they fucking do bench presses, shit like that. Give it a week, it'll be something else. But, you know, okay, here's where I'm wrong. All of these events, they wake up a certain amount of people. It just woke up a fuckload of people that every time they pull their scummy bullshit, we'll go, oh, there's more scummy bullshit. You see that enough times, and you go, oh, there's one side not really pulling a bunch of scummy bullshit. Yeah, they're not getting anything done. We can get something done. Democrats are dangerous as fuck, and the Republicans are useless.
That the only thing that's going to happen is this escalation. The way... There's a company right now, and I'm not going to show these photos. They're selling t-shirts. Cartoon images of Charlie Kirk dying. And believe me, they're selling t-shirts. That's terrible.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, the risk of leftist violence is here. It's manifesting itself. It's going kinetic. It's going to ramp up more and more. That's why the Trump admin can't half-bake this. That's why they can't run the risk of leaving any power left at the table. It has to be a complete crackdown. Total crackdown. You can break this and end this forever. Rip out, root stem, ostracize. Not that they've demonstrated their death goal. They've demonstrated that they took enjoyment in watching what happened to Charlie Kirk. Enough. We can't live like this. We can't share society with this. This is unacceptable.
So, well, just a quick update. Cash Patel and Jeff Bongino are on the ground in Utah. There will be a press conference within the hour. We will have that ready to go when it does drop. So we'll be monitoring the situation, and when that press conference goes live, it will be up, and we will watch that. But, yeah. Anyway. Sorry.
That'll be wild.
Well, just saying they can't half-bake this. They have to come down as hard as humanly possible because you can't, like I was saying earlier, you can't leave any power on the table. You can't leave them a weapon to grab because they've demonstrated now they're willing to go there. They're willing to take out Charlie Kirk. Like I said, Charlie Kirk's politics represent probably a majority of Americans because it's very sensible conservative politics. They say the penalty for holding those beliefs is death. So no, they can't have things that are coming hard in this forever.
You know, the Yankees had that moment of silence. I think it was moment of silence for Charlie. Amazing. I saw that in Vegas. At least one marquee putting up a step back and say, leave me out of this. Without naming some of these liberals, I don't know if you guys saw.
Maybe a lot of people were like, whoa, holy they shot a guy in the head yesterday? Like, wait, what? Fucking, why? What does he say? Oh, he says that? Shit, that's not that bad, and they shot him? Wow, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah, they're fucked up.
The videos of them crying, bawling their eyes out, and we were talking about it, and I think it was Kelly was saying, I think maybe they realized just what they've been advocating for, or directing, maybe they're realizing this is not a game anymore. You know, Hassan apparently was very cognizant of the fact. It was reported by the New York Times that he was telling his fans to stop cheering for this because he's next. He is the target on the left. Charlie is the target on the right, and he does not want that. And
at the same time,
nobody wants to kill you, Hassan, you stupid pussy.
Saying that he essentially put this on himself, so
attacking the right for it, and saying that.
I mean, I should rephrase that. Nobody's going to kill you, Hassan.
But it is an addiction. These people cannot stop themselves.
Well, and I don't think they were horrified. I mean, they were horrified in shock, obviously, but they're horrified because they realize what they've been ratcheting up, what pressure they've been ratcheting up to happen to them.
it was a self-interested.
Right. They were saying, oh gosh, that's on the table, I didn't know.
Yeah.
They weren't, this wasn't empathy, this was from them. Self-preservation. Precisely. And well, because political violence is left-wing coded, rebellion is right-wing coded. That's why when you say, when me and Tim were sitting here, like, when was the last right-wing riot? You can say J6, you have to go back to the Civil War, because that's how the right-wing expressed.
Brooks Brothers?
Brooks Brothers, right? Yeah,
Which is like, come on.
that's classy, he's got a suit on and tie on, it's right. But yeah, you gotta go back to like the Civil War. We expressed ourselves in revolution. Charlie Kirk was a revolutionary. He took the mainstream and pulled it in the direction he wanted to. The left wing, all they can express themselves through is violence. That's all they can do.
One of the reasons for that, I think, is because the left does look at violence as a dial, right? And the right looks at violence like a switch. The right says, no, we don't do that. We don't engage in those things. We don't do this kind of stuff. That's not proper. It's the same reason that the GOP and Republicans have been getting,
Why haven't I heard this
crapped on
before?
by Sooners.
Are they repeating themselves, or am I rewatching something?
Stand up. What is it? The reason why Roe versus Wade took so long to overturn.
I guess he's repeating himself.
The right way.
Which is okay.
Presidents to put enough.
It's a great point.
Got the
The left has a dial, the right has a switch. It's gonna get nuts.
got brought back in front of the court. They went out the right way. Democrats just try to go around the law because it's a dial. It's an access to power. Republicans, when we're conservative, with the Republican impulses, when it's time for violence, it's massive violence. It's totally.
Phil is super well read, and I always tend to agree with what he says because he's even keeled and smart, and doesn't talk out of his ass. The only criticism I have is people are awfully angry, and you cannot let that anger lead your thoughts. You can't let the anger lead your emotions.
It's annihilate the enemy. It's destroy them. It's leave no survivors. Win at all costs and destroy them.
I mean, I don't disagree with any of that, but that's when you're at a war.
But it takes so long for the right to get there because it seems like the right actually has a real, honest, in touch understanding.
What would like declaring civil war look like in this country? I mean, I understand there'd be a lot of fucking like, little skirmishes all over the place. Places where it's not violent, places where it is. The more heterogeneous left and right a place is, the more probably you're going to get back and forth violence. But like, how do you declare an enemy like within the United States? I wonder if it has to get worse, and then the left band together under some sort of a banner, and then you go after everything under that banner. Well, I mean, otherwise, fuck. Street violence and shit, like people see my fucking stuff and I walk to the grocery store and they fuck me up. It's wild.
Ending of the horror of that perspective. Whereas the left is like, well, I'm going to go beat this person up, and if I can get them to do what I want now, well, then it's fine.
It's just as simple as people on the right believe in the dignity of the human person.
True, yes.
And when they're given the opportunity to point score, which they were given with the death of Irina Soroska, and also that poor little girl in Scotland who was being harassed by a migrant, they had the opportunity to politically point score about it and say,
Lola.
well, they voted for it. And I'm not saying that and even when they had the opportunity, because they still believe in the sanctity of human life.
I want to jump to the story from the Daily Mail. Powerful moment, J.D. Vance carries Charlie Kirk's coffin as mourning wife and family join him on final journey. Everybody loved this guy, and it is amazing the response from so many people who had been assisted and cared for and inspired by Charlie
Holy
Kirk.
shit.
The vice president came to carry his casket. You have this video from Nick Sorter. Charlie's casket now on the move through Arizona, being escorted by a large motorcade. He is receiving the presidential level send-off he deserves. Donald Trump has stated he will.
And I wasn't even a big fan of Charlie Kirk's, but man, that's fucking, that touches you.
Be posthumously rewarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he absolutely deserves. And so it's just incredible to see the respect and just I guess the honor and the dignity and the response that we're getting from the U.S. government for Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot. It says a lot when the vice president is the guy that's like, no, we're going to take him home.
Right. That's not something I don't think.
And it shows the lion and Titan Kirk was, because I mean, he wasn't just a comic, so he built Turning Point from the ground up, and he had single-handedly occupied and reinvented the mainstream. I mean, there's no question about it. He was a paradigm changer, and I mean, just institutional. That's what I've been telling people. Is like no one else was willing to show up to Utah Valley University on a Wednesday afternoon. That's just how he is. That's just how he operates, because he genuinely views America's youth as underserved, undertapped, and he wants to be the guy that matriculates bright, young, right-wing, conservative Christians, people, and he wants to, turn them into viable future leaders and assets for the movement. And there's just such a massive void now that's left in this movement that cannot be replaced. It just straight up cannot be replaced.
There are a lot of posts on X from young Gen Z guys who say that their lives were turned around by Charlie. Stories of being kind of just listless, perhaps not knowing what their purpose was, not knowing where they were going in life, and they went to these Turning Point events and lit fire within them, and they started working towards goals and bettering themselves and improving themselves, and that was it. And what I find truly remarkable is over the past 10 years, any figure that emerges that inspires young men is attacked mercilessly by the narrative machine. Jordan Peterson being one of the first, where the Nazi and alt-right, and it's the weirdest thing because it's fairly liberal in a lot of ways.
It was so center. I mean, he's a moderate Canadian. He can't be far right Canadian. He was a moderate center guy that just said, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to just bow down to you telling me that I have to use words that you're saying. That was it. That was all he was saying. You are not going to select.
I'm not going to do it.
I will not bend the knee.
I won't call he or she.
Insane. Totally insane to say you won't use the words that we demand you use, so you are a Nazi.
It was the fervor that inspired young men that terrified them more than just his own ideas.
It's always what it is.
Afraid of the potential that exists in young men, that they have not only physical power, but the ability to be so singularly focused and willing to take risks and willing to self-sacrifice. That's another thing that Charlie Kirk deserves so much credit for. And another thing that's remarkable about him, which shouldn't be remarkable in politics, but it is that he's just uncomplicated. And he did have that singular focus, and he wasn't distracted with drinking or partying or lying or scamming anyone. He was just good, just uncomplicated good. And you meet so few people like that in general, but especially in politics. That's what everyone knew him was saying.
I think it's fair to say the left knows they have to destroy them. Yeah. And so these figures that rise up to give voice to young men and give them direction and purpose and strength and direction. There's a lot we discussed with Charlie Kirk's efforts politically, and I think that is one that has a huge impact. A lot of these young men hearing right wing. It's not just about them voting for Trump. It's about them returning to church, getting jobs. There was a really interesting trend. I covered one of these stories. A woman posted that she has a guy friend who started getting rent billed, she called it, and all of a sudden he didn't want to. He was not feminist anymore. He wasn't going to go with ideas. And she said, "Quote: He is cock-blocking himself." Now, what does that translate to? A young man told a woman that he worked with he wasn't going to blindly agree with her so that she would give him sex. That he cared more about truth than getting laid. And what she revealed was she used manipulative tactics and sex to get what she wanted from his man. It's an insane revelation. That he was turned around by researching, learning, and changing his life. Outside of just these young men are voting for Trump, these young men are waking up.
That's why he was such a threat, was because Charlie Kirk, as a young man, just reminded. It wasn't even creating something grandiose. This grand story was just reminding you of who you are inside, who you are as a young man, and as a young patriot.
That was your role.
And that's absolutely petrifying to let the Matt Walsh put it perfectly today, where he said, "There's not a bigger compliment for your career than the fact that leftists are in jubilation over your deaths, because that means that you were a genuine threat, that they're celebrating as leaving the ring." And it's so poignant, it's so true. Charlie Kirk was like our quarterback for the movement. He really was. And without him, the movement would be.
The press conference is set for 9:30 p.m. I had a crazy moment today, which is just I can't believe it, because I was just hanging out with my wife and my daughter, and we were just going over basic family stuff, and we were having a conversation that was just like I don't want to be too in detail because of security reasons, but it was basic stuff like we're going to go to the post office. And my wife looked at me and said, "They just killed Charlie," and I was just—it's like it's impossible for me to believe it. It's weird. It's horrifying. It's still hard to believe. Like when I pulled up this video from Nick Sorter, and there's a hearse driving in a vehicle, and I'm like, how is this? My brain is just my emotional centers are saying Charlie's not dead. And I cannot exist in a world where I'm watching a video where a car is driving across Charlie Kirk.
It's fucked up.
No.
It's fucked up.
It's just
His dead, lifeless body, man.
It's horrifying.
Even harder to believe if you didn't see him kind of lose it on the way down. God damn, man. Much better man than me.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah. And look, behind the scenes, we're going over our production schedules and everything. I'm like, nothing. Like, I turn the news on, and every 15 minutes it's, updates on the Charlie Kirk assassination, and then they'll talk about Poland or these other stories, and it's the top zone. But there's just nothing there. When they are talking about, Trump's responsible for Poland, and even the story in Annapolis, it just doesn't register. There's no story I can see anywhere. I just exit out, close it out, and it's not real. This is the only thing that I was thinking about. Where, hopefully by next week we'll just be, I guess, relieved, chosen, and then we can figure out how things are moving forward. Right now, I'm talking to friends, and it's a scramble. It's every plan is something. Every schedule, every meeting, erased.
It's amazing. Like talking to a lot of my friends in the space that are active politically, and everyone you talk to, none of them have any ties together. And Kirk and Iron Fire, every single one of them. That's why I was just always working, always just project after project after project. So even beyond trying to talk to guys that don't have any idea who each other are. Yeah. Kirk and Iron Fire.
It's actually kind of weird.
Yeah.
Some of the conversations I've had. Yeah, and they're like, oh, I was talking to Charlie about it. And I was like, how's that literally everybody I know I've been working with Charlie in some capacity? Wow.
It's gonna save this country with workforce. Sheer willpower.
Today on the show that he's on, saying that he was looking back through some of his texts with Charlie, and every single time he asked Charlie for anything, Charlie said, "Come on my show, come do this," every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was explaining the other day. That's the things that Charlie did to help out us here at TICAS and our crew at Turning Point US.
It's that kind of example that turns people into Christian and shit.
I say, it was always yes.
They cannot have that.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, really? What? He asked me for nothing in return. And I remember, this past year at Turning Point, they tell me, like, we're ready for the stage, stand right here, we'll give you a cue, then you'll walk out. And I just walk out, I don't know what's going on. And then I saw the video later of, like, they made this montage of me playing on all these screens everywhere, and I'm like, I can't believe how much I was like, wow, I didn't realize how much work and effort they were putting into having me there. It's more than that. I was explaining the other day that when I had talked to Charlie at the USA team about us going out and joining them on stage, it was very much a, we can't because we do the show every day, and they're fucking travel, it's a fun weekend, and a fun weekend, and how we do the show Monday, Tuesday, it's impossible. And they said, we'll take care of your team, take care of you, and we'll build you. And I was like, okay, and then they did it for 3 years. Now, to be fair, last year we didn't need it. We flew out, I think, you hosted one of the shows for that. Is that what happened? Yeah, like I left in the morning, I think, and then you, it was Friday.
Yeah, it was one show, then I flew out the next day, so
Right. Well, we didn't need the studio this year, but getting to be on stage, one of the great memories of my life is each and every show that we did the past 3 years with Turning Point. But most notably, not last year, but the year before, Tucker Carlson and Charlie both honoring me, coming on my show, and I get to hang out with these two titans. It was absolutely incredible. And it was through Charlie's goodwill and great effort to get me and our team there to make it happen, and asking us for nothing in return, which was just one of the craziest things. There's so many people that always want something from me, This guy was not one of them. He apparently was just giving everybody stuff, helping them out, helping them be better versions of themselves, helping them succeed in their endeavors.
Running a business and starting a family, having a seemingly happy married life, and not doing cocaine, do all of it.
For real. Let's end the story. This is a raw story. MAGA host subpoenaed by ATF after revealing Charlie Kirk investigation details. This is Steven Crowder. He says he was subpoenaed by the ATF after he revealed alleged details about investigation into shooting Charlie Kirk. In the Thursday Morning Post, the next Crowder claimed to have received an email from an officer at the ATF. The message included what he said were details about a weapon and cartridges located by an ATF and a law enforcement near the scene of the Charlie Kirk shooting at Utah Valley University. All cartridges had a grade 4 content expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. The New York Times later suggested that law enforcement officials had walked back this claim. The senior law enforcement official acknowledged in the investigation caution that the report had not been verified by ATF analysts, did not match other summaries of the evidence, and might try to misread or misinterpret it. On Thursday, Steven Crowder revealed that his company had been subpoenaed. I will also stress the Wall Street Journal corroborated this with an individual involved in the investigation. That being said, as I stated earlier, I stated before, this is preliminary. These statements on transgender ideology, taken with a grain of salt, but Crowder's reporting is very, very likely accurate. Very likely reported on leaked information from law enforcement before it's not accurate, correct? However, as much as Crowder verified the identity and the authenticity of the documents, it doesn't mean that the internal document itself, written by the vets, is true. However, I think based on Wall Street Journal and there's been others that have corroborated this, and not just through this post, but they sent through people involved in the investigation, I think that's likely the case. My concern is with these New York Times things being walked back, is that they're not actually walking it back. They're just saying it may have been misinterpreted. Okay, so it may not have been misinterpreted. So when we have multiple sources saying this is what it expressed, maybe you were wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's misinterpreted. Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe that's what it said. That's what we're dealing with.
Crowder was the first one to publish Dr. Kill.
Yep, that's right. And I would also add, based on the interest within Fortune, it corroborates this report as well. So again, it is also very early, and something we don't know entirely. But I believe that Fortune had begun aggregating information pertaining to shooter evidence and things linking Harrisburg Online linked to a single individual. And I believe they found an individual made a post predicting the death of Charlie Kirk at this age. He was very solid.
So yeah, they didn't track 100% their stuff, but they were having a track time of that, yeah.
Right. And so this individual was also transgender and lived in the area. So they then published a name and lined up the images they thought
research, tend to figure these things out.
Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'm gonna call it on the live stream for tonight. Hopefully somebody calls in soon. Drop me a message, say hi. Thanks again. Have a good one.
So there's also a lot of people speculating that perhaps the shooter had made his plans known, perhaps in Discord or something like that beforehand. But the shooter obviously, you know, if there's any credence to this, is obviously bold and boisterous about what their plans were beforehand.
And it won't let me stop the live stream.
I think it's very
Stop.
obviously
Stop. Stop. Oh my god, I didn't see the stop broadcast at the bottom.